To a modestly lower open coming up this morning, extending declines from Friday's session. We're heading into a third straight potential negative week here for U.S. equities. If you remember, on Friday we had a bit of a sell-off late in the day that ended the week to the downside for the overall market. September volatility continues to pour back in. We have the VIX this morning trading at its highest level since May. We did a great video on the VIX over the weekend. Go check that one out if you're interested. Some of the big name tech stocks getting some follow through this morning as well. Facebook, Microsoft, and Apple all leading to the downside early on. Energy stocks under pressure as well this morning with oil continuing its dip that we saw back on Friday as well. Crypto, big volatility coming back into crypto over the past couple of days here, 24 hours at least. We'll talk about those stocks coming up. Vaccine news to discuss as well. Positive for Pfizer. Not so for the rest of the group. And SDC, Smile Direct Club, continues to be among the most active shares traded here in the pre-market. It's Monday, September 20th, 2021. TraderTV.live starts now. That is definitely not what's happening. We'll refresh our data board there and get you updated on the markets because we are red in a big way. 1.8% currently for the S&P to the downside. You saw the crypto markets at the bottom. You can go ahead there, Lucas. There we go. That's a little bit more accurate for you. That is not North America, however, but Ethereum, 10+%. You can just take that off. Yeah, Ethereum, Bitcoin as well to the downside this morning. So we're coming into a little bit of selling, to say the least, this morning, guys. It is going to be an interesting week here as we continue the sell-off that we saw again back on Friday. I mean, one good note to start things off. Our friend Sean is back. We had Arun here, as you remember, on Friday, sitting in for Sean as he was enjoying his weekend birthday party. Sean? Up in Collingwood, Ontario. How was your weekend?
God's country, Brendan. You know all about that. It was so beautiful there, and I'm actually just working on getting out the sticky note right now to some of you guys because it's been a very, very active morning. And of course, like always, I want to thank Arun, thank Neil, and thank everybody for holding it down. But that's what we do for each other around here. So it's really nice to have such a great team. But yeah, check out some of the pictures. I threw down some oysters, things like that. Maybe I can, if anybody wants to see. I know we're going to talk about the market, but you kind of set me up. And like when we're talking about this, I can't regret showing this. But this seafood chowder, guys. Yeah, this was high, very high. We stayed at a lakeside restaurant, well, like a hotel, but they had a restaurant there. The oysters were sort of small, PEI, but you know, this was fantastic. There's a few other pictures there too. But anyways, thank you, Brendan, for that. Yeah, it was my birthday, so 34 never felt so good. So thank you.
We said 24.
Oh, 20. I don't know if that's believable.
Well, I don't know. That's what
I kind of look maybe 26. Anyways, guys, thank you for coming back. And unfortunately, I didn't bring any good news with me about the market. So we'll continue to watch it. Some of these Chinese names continue to be under pressure. And yeah, we're already long AMD here. I'm long ahead of $100. It does show on the board. Okay, good. So we're already long there. That's 25 cents in the money. But let's just wait to see where this goes.
Yeah, it's going to be a wild one, obviously, as you can see here. Markets are still trading into the downside. Just to give you a quick look. Of course, I'm looking at one of these like high flyers, but that NASDAQ, you know, well past those 15.5 levels that we've been getting to, and very, very close to 15,000 flat. So there will be a lot of names as we get to 15,000 in particular that are going to be at some relatively key prices. I mean, Tesla's only $5 away from 7.25, and that's just to name a few. So like, it's going to be a wild one. It's the kind of day you want to make sure you have a bit of a plan of action, and we'll make sure that we give hours to you there. There are still some, you know, some small caps and some movers and some squeeze type stocks that we can play for momentum. Although even those were selling off when I sat down. I mean, I saw it. Like, Smile Direct just tanked. Corvus just tanked. Those names just felt like an absolute rock as well.
Yeah, the negativity definitely back this morning. We'll discuss some individual names. We were talking a little last week about how, you know, 20% of the overall market for the year at the top. We've come off now about 4.5 to 4.75%, depending on what you're looking at. The SPY specifically about 4.75. So we've been discussing how, we've yet to have a 5% pullback. Today could be that day. Before we go any further, however, let's get over and say good morning to Miss V.
Good morning, team. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a great weekend and ready for a productive week. I wish you all the luck. Please like this video and let's get it started, Brandon.
Yeah, let's indeed, guys. As I was mentioning there, we're looking, within shouting distance at least, a couple of dollars here or there for the overall market. Again, 4 and change percent. To the downside. So we're coming back into significant levels for the overall market, although, we kind of say that with an asterisk because some of these mega cap tech stocks, Apple, Facebook even, they're not looking great here, guys, this morning.
Yeah. They're not looking great at all.
No, okay. Well, I was going to try to come up with
It's the September swoon. Look, we can continue to talk about this as much as we want.
The charts don't look fantastic.
Yeah, I'm here in front of. So the one thing that I've noticed here, and this is just a credit, hopefully to us, and also a credit to our viewers, but in the past we'd look at our chat here and everyone would be saying, we got to buy the dips and everything like that. And I think what I've just put on the sticky note, which sorry about that, it's out now, is that be patient and you don't need to. And I think this is something that I've learned as well. We don't need to rush to the gates here to buy everything because we're down so much. AMD's down 3%. Oh God, the daily chart. This is already freezing on me. I just restarted this PC. What is going on? I was going to say, you're coming near. This is called price discovery. So today we're going to find out, how low some of these stocks want to go. AMD back down to 100. Are you kidding me? We just trimmed some at 120 not too long ago. Alibaba, a lot of you guys have been watching that one, and they're all on my sticky notes. You guys can go over ahead and look at that. But Alibaba near 150. That probably needs to be bought again. Look at 160 Friday, bang, down here. We're right at these levels again. Buy. So is it buy now? I'm going to wait to see, but I think it is. Another name here, NEO, broke below 36.25, which was a monster level. And unfortunately, again, I can't show you the day chart. I'll do that in a minute. But, we've broken below. It's just right here. We've broken below some of these support levels that were holding last week when we had a bad week. So now today we come in, we broke some of those levels. So now we get to see where we're going to go. Just quickly before I throw it over to Neil, look at the imbalance locator here today. You're going to see some high flyers on here. Not Ford. Ford's not necessarily a high flyer, but Ford was breaking out last week, comes back in today. I actually added to my long-term position at Ford at 1330 when it broke that. You're going to see a 1310 print off open. Does that mean that I'm panicking and buying more? Hell no. We've got our positions. Now we wait. Palantir, sell off, right? Some of these names. NEO's going to be sold off today. You have AMC, you have AT&T, you have Cliff, you have these Chinese education companies. You're having the sell-off continue down here in the travel space with CCL going down. You have XPEV there. You even have the oil space going down. There's nowhere to hide. I don't see any banks on here, but they're coming. So there's really nowhere to hide right now, and I think you just be safe. You pick up great companies at great prices, and you don't do it early. I think this is time to nibble. This is not time to jump in.
I'm just curious what that best is, so I had to look it up. Best Inc. I don't know anything about Best Inc., but it is the only buy on that imbalance locator. I was just looking at it.
It's because it's the best, is what I heard.
Clearly,
but
the
I'm
best.
not sure if that's
Best
true.
Buy should have made sure that they got that ticker, obviously, but they don't have it. I was just looking at even like an AMAT, which I recently sold off a high, and at least some things are holding up a little bit better than others. I'm looking for stocks like this in particular, you find a setup like this, and let's imagine that scenario where everyone comes in today and it's doom and gloom, we're close to 2%, and then you get that initial flush, and then what if it turns into a bit of a bottom, right? So what's your plan of action? If you're not loving some of the prices, I guess, in the more, I guess, stable tech names or the better known ones that are giving you fantastic pullbacks. You're getting 10% off the top in Apple essentially right now. But something like an AMAT, which has been a strong play for this chip shortage, is still above the 50 period. It's actually still on the top end of its range. So if you were actually able to hold out and the market were to run higher, this would be so close to breaking back above those highs that I'd look like a sucker for a selling it in front of the top. But who knows, right?
This is a perfect example right there, what you just said, right? I remember you were sort of kicking yourself on Thursday because AMAT made a move up. And we were like, oh my God, you were like, oh my God, I sold it. But now, one day later, later, all of a sudden it's like, whoo, thank God I sold.
You
it.
shouldn't care.
We have to. And I'm going to find that, if you guys remember, we had that little meme thing there where it was like crypto traders, hold my beer for 40%, stock traders down 20%, and they're, I mean, maybe I shouldn't say jumping out of buildings because that does actually apparently happen, but we panic. So let's just, keep your calm here off the open. We're going to open up down 500 points, or maybe even, 682 right now. We're going to open up down 682 points. So there's still 50 minutes to go. I hope it doesn't get any worse, but hey, flush. Just don't forget about that.
Speaking of selling, guys, crypto's getting hit as we speak here. We can talk a little bit about that meme, maybe, Sean, because, we just broke through 44,000 or 43,000, I should say, on Bitcoin. Ethereum following suit as well, coming into pretty big levels here for these.
Thank good. I mean, I more, give this one. I mean, Cardano's down to $2 as well. That was at $3 a week ago. So they're all. I mean, Litecoin down to 154, went up to 250 on the Walmart rumor, right? 154. It was up to 250 on the Walmart rumor, and now obviously it's getting flushed out. But we're going to talk about Ethereum right here, bouncing off 3,000. Basically goes back to last month or even before that a little bit here as we're getting on in September. But the last time we touched these levels, guys, besides that huge crank that went all the way to the downside there, was back in August 5th. We breached 3,000. We're breaching it again right now. And again, I'm not super worried about anything here. I mean, I was actually just kind of joking to Brendan earlier when he was like, oh my God, cryptos are going down. I said, just a buying opportunity. But we don't know that this is going to fall, but at least it's orderly this time. You could see it's just tick, 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 tick. It makes a lot of sense that this is getting hit. And remember, like if traders out there, and here's Bitcoin just to show you guys 42,000 right now, and basically the same thing back to August levels, we could still dip down to 30. The thing about it is that, if legitimate, and I think crypto is a legitimate asset, but it's not really classified that as yet. But if people are a little bit panicky right now, what are they going to sell, right? They're going to sell the thing that may be up the most, which is probably people's crypto accounts. So they're going to sell something that's up the most, and they're going to sell something that they still have question marks, because if this world is coming to an end, is Bitcoin really worth anything? I mean, let's be perfectly honest here. I understand everything behind it. I'm actually a crypto bull, but those are the first things being sold. It's like AMD. I think they're a hugely high quality company. You said the same thing about AMAT, the same thing about Microsoft, Facebook. These companies are going to get hit hard, and they're going to get hit often when this happens. So for me, worried about it? Yes, for sure. Did I take anything out? No, not really. But I'm going to be buying some of these dips. I'm not going to do it in the first day.
Yeah, it's all about your time frame, right? So like if you look, I'm not going to sit here and say that anybody who has something which they've been looking to sell, I suppose, you wanted to trim your position, and you want to rotate out of it because you think there's going to be better opportunities, and it was the stock you wanted to sell. Fair enough, but I'm just looking back. We just on Bitcoin in particular, we just broke that flush day bottom, of course, that 42.5 area here, and if you're not buying this dip, I mean, you're probably sitting out another 10% because you also don't look for those double bottoms, and the next one's at like 38. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, if you're not interested in buying in front of 40,000, to me, I guess you wait a couple of days here. But I think there's going to be this week some chances for those of you that have been sort of slowly getting out of things, slowly trimming positions and waiting for that inevitable pullback. I mean, I started getting defensive like a few months ago, right? Like, it's how much Procter can you buy? Like, that stock's essentially, it's doing pretty well right now, but I'm starting to think about, okay, well, what's next? Where can we actually buy some interesting dips? I think crypto's going to definitely be one of those things. Would I prefer to be buying at 38? Yeah, of course we want the bigger dip. Everyone wants to get a better price, but it doesn't mean it's going to be there. And the reality is, like you said on Ethereum, you break through that 3,000, okay, 2,700. Like, I love that level. I'll be definitely in front of that one as well. But do you have to wait for the entire thing? I don't necessarily think so. Today, when it comes to day trading, however, we've seen this before, and I'm not saying this is what's going to happen, but how many times have you come in on a Monday and felt like it's all doom and gloom, look at the market down, look at that momentum into the downside, and then it sells for like the first 20 minutes, half an hour, and then it catches a bit of a bottom. This is why you're going to hear some levels. It's like if StockX gets to this and there's any kind of a small bounce or buying comes into it, this is going to be a day trade buy, and it's worth taking that shot. Even if we fall another percent in the ES or the NASDAQ into these levels, there are going to be some that we're taking a shot at for sure as a day trader.
All right, the other group that we mentioned briefly back on Friday, if you remember, energy stocks, guys, we just had a bit of a tick higher, in fact, in the price for crude oil, still down significantly here, 2% on the Z contract here. But look what just happened. We just went from about 69.5 up to $70 there in a straight line. So still 2%, as I said. But some of the oil-related stocks under pressure here, guys, in the pre-market as well.
Wow. Yeah, I noticed that people talking about Palantir, and we'll talk about oil, but wow, that good job anybody selling that. I mean, I only called $28 by October. I didn't even realize, and this is how good I guess the vacation was, I wasn't even paying attention to Palantir on Friday, and we got up as high as almost $30, like $29.20, good sell-off. I see some people saying they sold some shares into today, so good move there. Yeah, I think this is about as high as you can go here for Palantir. I mean, who knows? We can go higher, but that was a good sell. Whoever did that, I didn't even notice it. Okay, so I always like XOM here. I've made a call on XOM shorting it. I've already gotten out of those puts. That was a winner. You know, it looks like we're going to make new lows here on XOM. Some of these, I mean, I think Chevron is probably the best name to hold if you're going to hold one of them, but you still have that 52 bottom here on XOM. Crude oil, you just mentioned it right here, Brendan, so I'll just call up this little chart from eSignal. So we were 71, we're up to 70.50 right now, bouncing around here on crude. So we'll see. I mean, not a big move right now, but again, you know, when you come in and the market's going to be down that 700 points today, you know, oil names are what's, you know, there are oil names in the Dow, so we look to sell off some of those. But I think XOM is one of those names that we can always look at to possibly catch something here, especially if it does start to rebound. I mean, I like a 54 bid here, so we can watch out for that as that's going to come through. But again, off the open, you know, I want to be sort of a little bit risk adverse. I see you have Chevron up. To me, that's going to be the best play.
Yeah, like in terms of like where to buy a dip, I mean, just for an energy play, like Chevron is one of the best dividends out there. But I start thinking about this pivot area that we're sitting in here right off of 95, 96. So you're essentially breaking down this level, and the bottom of the range is about like 83, 84-ish. And it's not a huge cluster support, but it's obviously a bit of a double bottom. And it's when you start thinking about 10, and again, what's that magic number? It's just a little bit more than 10% from here, which is interesting because almost a lot of the charts that I'm watching, if I look from here, 10% is major support. And usually that means, okay, well, that's not a horrible place to start buying. So, you know, if we actually make any kind of a bottom today, like this could be an interesting one at about like 92, 93, although I'd much prefer to be waiting until at 86 and 87, and that's what you're going to get. Now, Chevron's not a day trade. I don't remember the last time it ever was. If I'm day trading in energy, it's sometimes XOM. You know, we'll see what happens. I don't see any way that I'm actually trading in Chevron, but this is getting pretty interesting. If this breaks 90, I'm definitely going to be a buyer of that stock. And I was looking at Coinbase for a bit of a dip, and of course, a lot of things just bounced a few bucks here. So Tesla bounced 730, Coinbase just bounced off of 231. Market's slowing down a little bit to that downside and leveling off, but there's still a lot of time to go till the open here.
In fact, yeah, better part of 50 minutes left, guys. We put out a weekend video this weekend, if you caught it, on the VIX, talking about one thing that we can, as short-term traders, benefit from is higher volatility. I just brought up VXX here, which is the ETF that trades obviously like a stock, but highest level, guys, in the pre-market here for the VIX since May. If you remember way back in May, we also had a bit of a sell-off, you know, only about 2% from then, what was all-time highs. But so we're seeing that same sort of two-day action here on the VIX or the VXX here, if you want to look at the ETF. So volatility, obviously, short-term traders' friend.
Yeah, I mean, we actually just have VX. Let me call it up here because we only have the VIX. We don't have the actual VXX product here, but you're up to $29 already here on the VIX today as it's still continuing to march, man. I mean, it is the fear index. You started to see it getting ramped up there on Friday, opening 25, closing 26.50. This is just a 3-minute chart, so you're up to 29.50, but that's not going to mean anything unless you really know the levels of the VIX. This is more important here. So this is the daily chart. And again, what a fear index means, or what VIX means, sorry, let me pull this out here if I can. Oh no, don't tell me this is happening again to me. Is that, you know, they buy and sell, they buy weekly puts and calls up to, I think it's 23 to 37 days out, and then they just kind of average them in, and then, you know, the more expensive they get, the higher this goes up. Therefore, you know, the more people fear possible moves coming in the index, right? And so you could see here back, this is just a VXX, so you can quote this however you want. This is the Barclays iPath VIX ETF, so it's just something that I look at. So we got up to, and again, this is not exactly the VIX, but you got up to 300 obviously back in May. And then since then, we've been really super chilled out, doing not that much here on the VIX. Whenever you get and again, there's better ones. I could call it VIX, which I should probably do. But you know, you're down here 24, you're starting to take off. We still have this level to break here, that's 28.36, and we're above that today, right? We're at 29. So we're getting elevated again, almost back to early August. So we can see what happens. You still have to take out some more levels, but we're still not that high up. Just to give you guys an example, as we showed you, like this is relatively low to where we could be. So, you know, as the market comes back down, we'll have to watch out what's happening with the VIX. It's obviously a very, very big indicator. And I don't know what the actual VIX is up today, but we'll find out.
Yeah, 100%. Like, just to get to a couple of things here, because I know before we go to Brendan for some upgrades and downgrades, one of the stocks that was very strong this morning, and I say was, trust me when I tell you, or just look at the chart. I mean, Smile Direct had gapped up significantly. Like, it was up $1.20, and then 7 o'clock happened, and it just felt like an absolute rock. It's again testing the lows here, guys, and this has been one of the, I suppose, stronger squeeze or meme names. It's holding up at about $7, which if you kind of look at it here, has been an area of interest on this particular name. A lot of you guys are looking at it and saying, oh yeah, well, interesting for the long term. I mean, beaten up stocks that are trying to find bottoms can make some sense as well. I'm not a huge fan of Smile Direct. I was sort of saying in there are beaten up names I like a Fubo or something like that, but Smile Direct is going to be on the radar today. But just note that it has fallen a lot on volume, but $7 is a pretty crucial level here that it is trying to base out at. And there's some bids down below 7, like 95 has a bit of a bid, so you can see someone's trying to pick this one up.
All right, a few analyst moves, guys. Speaking of beaten up, Las Vegas Sands back on this side of the board today. Morgan Stanley, the latest to jump on the back of some downgrades for the casinos. We spoke in depth about the Macau ties last week. We'll talk about that. Canopy, I'm pointing to up there, some cannabis action. Nike and Starbucks to the downside as well. Nothing terribly exciting. Victoria's Secret here, First Solar and Upstart. Upstart, I mean, yeah, look at that move in the pre-market here with a price target increase today.
Nike on that, just to keep my Nike reports. So we'll be waiting for that one to come out here. Arun and I were talking about Foot Locker through 49. And again, like last week, we were looking at some levels saying, oh yeah, I'd like to break down on at 49 on Foot Locker. I mean, I'm sure it's at like 48 already, so that's probably a missed opportunity. One of the things we talked about was Nike also getting through a key level, 155, and it was a big time breakout. And when it was back at these like 125 levels, and you see a lot of charts where if I were to do this, essentially like holding out on some of these levels is where a lot of things that we've pulled up are going to look at. Like you basically have a downward channel from highs, a break of the 50 period, and then getting back into support levels from maybe early to mid, or maybe even late 2020. Only Nike already broke out from something like that and is still trying to hold that breakout. So I'm looking at 148, 150. I don't think it's a trade today because you really, on a day like today, I don't think you need to force into anything that's reporting this week. Definitely back away from those names and then allow the reports to come out. I would have been all over Foot Locker at 49. If the market bounces, oddly enough, and just might as well just jump into it right now because Foot Locker is not going to be on our watch list, probably ever. But Foot Locker here down at that 48. It was this 49 that we're looking at a break of, multi-day low here on Foot Locker, just holding it the entirety of the week. But since it's already broken on light volume, a market bounce is probably the only way that I'm going to be getting into this one to the south side. And if the market rallies, this is the name I'd feel at least comfortable shorting the pop. There aren't a lot in, down 2%. I don't know how many things that are out there today that I'd want to short this pop. And of course, as I just said, Tesla's getting off the bump. 735, so that's up like $5 or $6 from the bottom.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So right now we're looking to do the same thing right now on AMD. So we're in the money 50 cents. So we'll say yeah for that one, but we're not out yet. But we'll see if we can get out of some shares here. If we can get to this, I mean, I'm just sitting right here. We'll figure it out where to get out. But it's getting ready to test one of those levels. So the only thing we bought was AMD right off here, $100.34, and we're up to $100.80 right now. So we're 50 cents in the money into like what's going to look like a pukey open here. But the NASDAQ battling back for sure, man. I mean, you're starting to make some moves now, so that's great. I mean, you just looked at Tesla there. It looks like we're trying to hold some of those bottoms, but look where we're at right now. I don't know if it's probably hard hard to see, but it's 15,000 again. So we just dropped to 1550. That's close enough to 15,000. Nice to see that we bounced off that. So that's probably a psychological level right there. So hey, just to let everybody know, we are getting close right now to a nice little rebound in some of these names. So if you did happen to bottom pick, which I know we said not to do, these are very, very light positions. I want to wait till the open before we actually see what happens. I want to give it like 5 or 6 minutes into the open so I don't do anything too crazy, because what happens is with me anyways, and this is how you got to know who you are, like I tend to average in, obviously, if I start to lose a little bit. There it is. So we just take a little bit out there. So we'll go awesome as we took a little bit out for 50 cents there on AMD, and we'll hold the rest. But I think that's the right play. Nibble in a little bit small. If we could take out a couple profits now, we'll do that. But for right now, AMD still remains on my watch. Neo, Baba, Apple, everything. It's going to be a good morning.
All right, guys, let's jump into what is moving around in the pre-market. If you're looking for the morning watch list, this is the link that you can find it at. All you need is your email address, absolutely free every single morning before we come on at 8:30. Let's get into it. Lots to talk about here. Travel names, interesting look here to start things off. So far this morning, we had some negativity come back into some of the cruise lines, some of the airlines as well at the end of the week last week. Some follow through again with the overall market here this morning. Had a look at Carnival. It was among the most active in the pre-market. There's the casinos we can talk about as well, an entirely separate catalyst, but more negativity around some of those today as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's I know the casinos are on our watch as well, and so is CCL. CCL is now down to $23. We are actually starting to break a little bit lower. I saw some good news there from Pfizer about that kids, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know what people's decisions are going to be with respect to their kids, but between 5 to 11 years old, they're going to look for acceptance there. They gave them a third of the vaccine, and apparently it's starting to kick butt for them as well. So, you know, CCL, maybe they're, I mean, look, you're down 3%, you're going to be down much more than the market. I'm actually not too worried about CCL because I feel like there's a lot of base down here, 2021. And again, like I said, I think these are all buying opportunities. If we can get Carnival down to like 20, 21 bucks, I think that's a definite buy. Southwest, same type of thing now. You know, you're down on a lot of these names, a lot of these good names that are high quality names that right now are just having a problem getting going. It's been a month or so since a stock like Southwest hasn't moved out of its range. This is $3. I mean, and right now you're just getting more opportunities to buy some of these dips. So believe it or not, this is what I mean. I don't think we're in that much trouble. We do have Boeing on our list, and we'll talk about them as well. But you're getting them down 3%, and we talked about now it's off. But you know, when we first sat down here today, Boeing was near, it was even a little bit lower, you know, near 200 bucks again, 207, 208. So you get a little bit of a flush down. Maybe you can buy some of this name. And I don't think, what is it, Jets, I think is the GETS, not Jets as wow. Zach Wilson, what did he throw, like 8 picks yesterday? I'm not even sure.
It's only 4.
Yeah, what I'm saying. But you can see right here, though, as we go with the 1 day interval here. So Jets, this is going to be an ETF of all of the airlines. So if you're interested in that, this might be something to pick out. And again, you're just right back here again. You're kind of right near some of these tipping points. So as badly as I feel the market is right now, we're just kind of pulling back into some key levels, and I want to see what happens. But I think this is time, at least if not, you know, right off the open, but a little bit to start to buy some of these, you know, beat down names, and especially an ETF that's in a space that you know can rally once the world opens up again. So that's what we're talking about right now, Neil. We're talking about opening plays, and I think that, you know, you can make some plays in various sectors right now, and as long as you're not jumping in, you know, they say shallow water, do not dive, right? So, I mean, I think if you're just nibbling in those toes, as long as there's not too many crocodiles, you should be fine. Oh, the wife told me a story about, this is super sad, some dude, he was eaten by a crocodile, like in Louisiana, because they had all these flooding. The wife saved him, like brought him back up to their porch, went inside to call 911, went back out, the alligator got the guy again. I know.
That's like the saddest story ever.
I know. And
okay, hold on, walk.
No, because he was too big. She couldn't.
Everybody back me up a second. Like when Sean started telling that story, like I 100% was thinking, oh my goodness, this is going to be
a good story. I know. The wife, I couldn't believe it.
What an unbelievable thing. She's a hero.
I actually told her to stop telling me those stories because it's really sad. But I guess the guy got, you know, maybe his leg or limbs off and couldn't really get out of his own way. So she kind of dragged him. He was too heavy to bring in the house. Dragged him onto the front of the, and then they actually found the alligator human remains
Okay,
inside.
so that's a little bit depressing, but
Anyways, off to
this,
Neil.
this,
What's up,
is,
Neil?
this isn't even like wow, and I'm going to talk about Las Vegas Sands now. So that's probably equally not good if you're trading in this name, if you own this stock. And this is something we said last week on Friday. When you're looking at reopen plays, a day like today, I don't know if this is the place to be dipping into Las Vegas Sands. And someone asked me about this stock, and I said, well, at least wait till next week to get a sense of where things might settle down at. And if you like casinos as an open play, if you like gambling as an open play, we talked about Caesars last week, and I think that's, oops, come on. We talked about Caesars last week, and that could be a better place to put the coinage into if you're looking for something along that range. And again, it just comes down to if you don't need to be exposing yourself to Macau, having the exposure to Macau, and of course the regulatory issues, maybe that's just the way to go. And sometimes these names that are really strong, and I say really strong because look at where we're sitting on Caesars. We're actually at higher support at that $100 level. Even though we're down 3.5% today, it's still looking relatively strong, and I'm not sure we're going to get a 100 print here if the market does try to rebound off the levels that we're currently seeing. So, sometimes it's about buying strength, and it's not always trying to get that perfect price, because it's appealing to look at a chart of a Las Vegas Sands and say to yourself, yeah, why not? Like, look at the price here, look at the discount you're getting it at. But every now and then, it's just a little bit better to buy the stronger stock with less amount of risk. So that's where I'd be. That's what we talked about on Friday. And I would be sticking to that with Caesars.
All right, let's bring in Arun here and get a check of the overall market. Important levels to be aware of this morning when it comes to the futures. We are trying to find a bottom at this point. Arun, what are you looking at?
Yeah, when Trader Pat and some of the other traders used to be in, they coined a term, free fall Friday. And I'm just going to kind of borrow that a little bit. It's free fall Monday at the moment right now. Markets are falling off. Not a whole lot of levels to work with. The only thing I think we can look towards is the 100 DMA, which sits around that 43.25 mark. So I'm going to say 10 points above and 10 points below. The 20-point window around 43.25. You might get some program activity. That's the only thing I can think of that could slow this market down. If we get through that, I mean, 4,300 would be the next stop down. If we get through that, we're probably going to keep on going. But for now, around 50, we've gotten below it. So what do we do? I'm keeping an eye on 43.85. Just keeping an eye on it, right? There might be a level that I can develop. And that's a key thing here. There's not a whole lot to trade with, but there might be something that might develop as we trade more and more. To the downside, like I said, the only thing you can look at is 100 DMA and 20-point window around that DMA and see if we can't maybe get a slowdown with some program trading there. But apart from that, just if you don't have levels, if you don't have breakouts where we're just starting to break out or that stock is just starting to move, if you don't have any of that, I think it's a dangerous game to try to catch something that's already gone quite deep, right? We're about 1.75% to the downside on the S&P and about the same on the NASDAQ as well. So we've already gone quite a bit overnight. So at this point, you're going to have to wait for this market to trade a little bit so it can develop some levels, maybe have some ideas. Like I said, 43 to 43.85 might be something. And then obviously, like I said, the 20-point window around that DMA, that might be something again, but these are mights. You need trading around that. You need volume confirmation. You need a lot of things. So if you don't have all that yet, I would just sit back, wait for something else to develop. If not, trade something else that is just breaking out, like I mentioned. But for now, though, I will be sitting back, waiting and see how much trading we can get done, get some levels developed, and then maybe we can get some trades on.
Important day to have a plan. Thank you, Arun. We'll check back in again tomorrow morning. Let's talk about Boeing. Sean mentioned it briefly there. There was a headline this morning, in fact, on Boeing as well. They picked up a $1.6 billion contract here from the Air Force to continue maintaining the guidance systems for their missile defense system. So Boeing, as you were saying, Sean, I mean, back to some interesting levels here with a little bit of positive news here.
Yeah, and that's actually why it's the number one stock on said sticky note today, just because, I think that it does have some positive news, and if you are going to get any sort of a rebound in the market here today, Boeing, secured a $1.62 billion deal with the Air Force. I mean, whenever you're doing something with the government, hopefully that's a legitimate contract that will continue on. But we know that Boeing's going to get these contracts, and they have been getting them, and I don't think they've been too slow. They did release plane numbers and order deliveries and things like that in the last couple of weeks. weeks, and they were fine, and they didn't really do much to the stock though. And again, it's at these levels. And I want to play off key levels today. So I mean, there's not much better than that AMD long off 100. We'll see where it goes. It's 20 cents in the money now, or a $200 level on Boeing. Like anything. Look at Beyond Meat. I know we were short that the other day. We'll have to look at that as well. But that was approaching $100. So I think that anytime you get a level that's approaching some key areas, especially when it's a psychological level like that, you got to try to buy it as close as it can to the 200. And if it breaks it, it breaks it. So I'm looking to pick some up. And I think, again, for a longer term play, like this is a monopoly. Like there's what, Boeing and Airbus. Like I don't know what else to do here other than you try to buy these dips. The 737 MAX, those problems, I'm trying to extend out the day. Hopefully this will load. Those problems, hopefully, gone now. We'll see what happens. But we know that this stock was announced $300, $400 before this all started. Then, of course, February happened. And then the rest is history down here to the lows of March of $94. A beautiful bounce back. But we're right into this area again. And I think I talked about Boeing on one of the videos that we've done recently. But you have this 190 area right here that we've sort of, you got the jump off of that. And I never thought we would sort of see this level again. So we had a nice recovery back from the COVID bottoms. Then we sort of hung around, things are getting worse, back down to this 140 area, and then you kind of just hovered around, and then that's the breakout you're looking for. So if you can get this again, I think that we've looked at this on DraftKings, we looked at this on AMD, and we're able to get some big wins off those as well. So I think Boeing down here makes a lot of sense to me. And again, and actually, this is another story here. I mean, this is not going to be someone getting eaten by a crocodile or anything. But, the Chinese, I was reading something that people are predicting like a little, possibly kind of like a Cold War again here with China and the US, and that it's not going to end pretty, and it's going to be a lot of this is revolving around trade. So, I mean, if Boeing doesn't, stays in the crosshairs here of some of this trade wins, then I don't like it, but I think that you got to buy it down here to 190. I'm a little hesitant right now to pull the trigger, but ahead of 200, I think if you have 10-15% of your money that you're willing to put into a stock like Boeing, probably a decent buy. And then we got to sort of load up back down here at 180. But with that China rhetoric, I don't know. Maybe it does dip before we get this move up.
Yeah, the one thing I'm doing here is I really think there could be like extensions to levels like this, and I'm looking specifically at 195 where that breakout happened in November, and then you had that January bottom right around that price, and we actually got down to like a 190 print, and then you had like a couple of days. It was basically 1 week that you essentially had 200 to 190 and then breaking back above. So that's what lends me to 195, which you're down. $13 from here seems like a heck of a lot, right? But I mean, I think you have to at least have opened yourself up to the idea that you could get some of these if the market does continue to pull back in, especially given that you have some support above that 200 level. So count me in for 195. I'm gonna have bids out there at possibly crazy prices going into the open, just on the off chance that you get some absolute wildness. Who knows? Like, I'd love to get picked up on some of these, so I do have a bid on Boeing. I got one. I literally have a bid like in front of 390 on Moderna, just on the off chance that happens as well. So it's not saying either of these things are going to happen, but I'm certainly anticipating that if they get to those prices, I don't want to miss out on a chance to buy. And if you get run over like a freight train while you're buying it at that kind of a discount, I'll take that kind of a shot here in this particular market.
Quick headline for you on Roku here, guys. They introduced an all-new Roku 4K streaming stick just moments ago, apparently. And an update, I guess, to their OS 10.5 now for Roku. Not doing anything here. It's down with the market 2.8%. But worth noting on Roku, let's talk vaccine stocks. Got to keep an eye on these this morning. We had news on Pfizer. They released new data on the 5 to 11 age group that was positive on a reduced amount. I mean, this is all in relation to what we were talking about on Friday. The FDA came out and said, hold on, outside of high-risk groups, 65 and older, the third shot, booster shot, maybe not necessarily needed. So when it comes to Moderna, when it comes to BNTX, AstraZeneca, a little bit of negativity on that end, but good to see that there is positive data here for under 12 as well.
Yeah, I could slap myself in the face over Pfizer. And we talked about Moderna last week about that 440 level and how good it was. And they've only traded it one time to the short side when you had that rollover. It's almost inexcusable because it's one of my best trades all week, and it was the day that it didn't move as much. So you've broken down here because the market's come down. And I look, and you would say, like, normally 408, 409 is what I'd be looking for on a dip. If I said I had a plan to be dip buying a Moderna, I'd go right back into that most recent breakout. You got a cluster here at 08. You've got a big break when it got the break to 465. All started with a dip at that 408 level. That's what the bottom was on Friday. Everything about that lines up to a 408, but I actually have a bid at 391. And it doesn't mean that there won't be an opportunity at 408. I would just need to see a different kind of market move there, not just standing in front of it at 930 on a $400 stock, but that's a big level for Moderna. If that gets taken out, I really do think you're headed at a minimum down to that 400. Obviously, I mean, Pfizer's not usually much of a day trade, but it's back at 43. I'm probably going to be buying some more of that this week. It's a name that I wanted to pick up on weakness, and I've sort of already started here. So Moderna for the day trade. I want to be buying the dip. If somehow Moderna, and look, it's probably not going to happen, but if somehow Moderna gets to this lower high from Friday, and we're talking a chance at like 425 to 430, a rollover short would be in play. But I'm not really planning for that. That seems extreme to me, that you'd get that kind of a move. I'm not touching it here at 415. I don't want things in the middle, not on a day like today. You get whipped around as badly as I did on bros, let's just say. So let's back off from trading things in the middle of the range, unless it's one of these small caps, guys. But Moderna, I'm buying dips, 390. I'd open myself up to the idea of a 405 to 410 dip. If things really level off, like right at the open, if we're just too strong and we're not going any further down, then it could be a good level here. Clearly, Moderna is about $8 away from that key price.
Yeah, I do like, I like Moderna on any dip buys, and you just talked about Pfizer here. We'll just take a quick look at the imbalance locators. You can see Pfizer, 250,000 to sell. I mean, everything's a sell here except for Best. We talked about that a little bit already, but everything's a sell. So we are expecting, I'm expecting a little bit of relief actually off the open, and then we'll see what happens. So I do expect a lot of these stocks to run off the open. The reason why I talk about Pfizer is you're right back to this December high of 43, and so if you're going to draw a line right there, and you're saying, okay, like where's support and resistance here? I mean, you're right at this level. Now, whether or not I don't believe that to be support. It's just down here is going to be support, 40 to 49, 40 to 39-ish, 39 to 40-ish. That's how you say it. 39 up here to 40, 41. I think that's where you start to buy. But like Neil said, I mean, and we've both been saying this, as you go, like if you're going to think about buying something at 39 or 40, and you're trying to hold this thing for 6 months, 8 months, a year, who knows, longer, shorter, this is a good spot to buy. I mean, you're going to be down, another 6 or 7%, and then you're going to buy it like 41, 42, and again, it depends what you're coming in with, but I like this play. I like a play down here off of this, and like Neil, I'm not even into Pfizer yet, and I think that it's a good thing to start to build positions in. And then another name that we don't talk about as much that I really think is a buy even at these levels, because I don't feel that J&J is really a vaccine stock. I mean, we don't hear about it enough in Canada because it's not approved here. But at the same time, you're getting more than vaccines, and this is very, very similar to a Pfizer, right? Where they have other products, other drugs that have been approved and that are out there that are fully selling on shelves. And J&J, I mean, just go run into your bathroom or your cupboards right now, and you'll find a couple products, I'm sure, that are Johnson & Johnson. So you're coming back down to a level right now that at 160, you're off the 50-period moving average here. The value is getting hit right now. You talk about growth stocks like Donkey Kong, some of these other names, the EV spaces, things like that, that are getting hit. But what about value? Like this is from 170 down here to 160 and change. And again, I think a lot of this has to do with China. A lot of this has to do with the trade war and the US dollar as well. So, I mean, I'd rather pick up J&J than anything else, to be honest with you, Brendan.
All right, let's go to Smile Direct Club, the most active here in the pre-market as far as the highly shorted names that we've been discussing over the past couple of weeks here. It was the most, by far, talked about stock on Wall Street Bets going back to Friday's session. Once again, we did have a bit of a reversal, though. Finally, late in the day, it came off pretty hard there for SDC.
Yeah, it was just, we're talking about this, how crazy the pullback had been on Smile Direct. And it is worth noting, just going back to the daily chart so you can always see this, that $7 level that's been relatively key. Now it has traveled below. I think I might have just said this is a cluster here. It's actually a little bit lower than 7 where previous support had been. It goes all the way into 650, which it makes it a little bit tricky on the dip buy in this situation. But you had all kinds of support from the afternoon on Friday. Where the top end of the range got you to like a 685 here. There's some wicks higher, but looking at 685 a little more specifically, down into that 650 level. That'd be the target for me. If I was looking to get into a long position off the open, I'd be trying to get something in between 50 and 85. Given the nature of the game here, I had come down and sort of thought, and when I sat down, look, it was trading up at 775, so and it fell down to 730, and I was thinking to myself, okay, this is that 930 potential rollover trade. Like if it pops up and you're shorting 760 to 780, something along those lines, in front of an 8 high, that'll be a nice little rollover trade. Well, I mean, obviously that's going to be out the window. We're down $1. But if it does make a bounce off the high end of the 685 range, then I'd be looking to at least try to play the short off of Smile Direct off that high of the day. I like to dip buy in this cluster. I just want to give things a little bit more room. I think you also have the cover of last week's high being right around that same price. You had a 670 top that it was looking to break out, and 670 on Friday when we were here with Arun, like it was that 670 breakout. That was the level that we were talking about. So that's right smack dab in the middle of that target entry range, which I love. So you'll see me on the bid of Smile Direct in that 6 3/4 range. But I want to wait for it to dip in there before I actually get into this name. It just gives things more room, like I said, which is exactly what I plan to do.
All right, so we're going to add Microsoft here. I know you're talking about Smile Direct. Well, I mean, I'm in Smile Direct. I have the same talk as Neil there. I'm going to be buying it until we get down to some of these levels here, 650-ish. I'm nervous about this level, this name, because we are up so much today. But again, that kind of makes sense to me to buy something that's up. Wow, look at AMD, now $1 in the money on that AMD trade. So the NASDAQ is starting to bump up here. So that was going to be a good trade. And like Gronkowski there, who I was facing both him and Brady, Neil, yesterday, believe it or not. If you're facing Tampa Bay guys this week, you're in luck because they face St. Louis Rams. Is it St. Louis Rams? No, LA Rams. There we go. How old am I? The Los Angeles Rams, which happened about 5 years ago, so I should have known that, or maybe even more. They face the LA Rams. That should be a good defensive battle at least. Tampa Bay is supposed to have a good D. They did last year for sure, and so did the Rams. But Smile Direct, anyways, let's talk more about this here. Smile Direct down to 650 there. I think that this is a level that I'm going to be looking at. If we break below 650, then you got 640, these kind of areas. So I'm a little bit nervous about that. We'll get out if we do come down to there. But I do want to average in. I thought I was trying to average in at 670. It dipped all the way down there to 680. So I want to get some shares in here and then see if this 650 holds. But I like Smile Direct for a run today. I think there is that opportunity. It's starting to get off right now. And then, back into 740, 750 for this should be good to me. Oh, shoot. I was just about to say Microsoft was going to be my next call. And that's exactly what we did. And I don't know why we're in right now. The call was on a break. Yeah, okay, so there it was. I was hoping for it to break this 297.20 area. Looks like we did that on a little bit of a wick up. And that's why you don't really want to do this for very many shares, but we are in Microsoft. I like this for the battle back to the long, and I think if you've noticed here, and it's going to look a little bit crazy, but it's been the stock to me anyways. Facebook's held up quite well as well. A stock like Apple's down, not 10%, but close enough, I think. We'll see where it goes, but Apple's down 7-8% from its highs. Microsoft nowhere near that, so we'll pick that up right now and see if it holds out for this 295-ish area. What was the low today? Yeah, 295.50. We cracked down below here. We'll give it a little more room before we do anything about it. But right now, Microsoft looks like it wants to whip around a bit, but we are long Microsoft. We're long STC until 650. We like it. And now I'm long Microsoft. They just got to find it out.
Yeah, and someone was just...
Go ahead.
No, sorry. So someone was just asking me about Square in particular. Apologies, guys. But with crypto on the move, and this is actually a really good look because you start thinking about some of the come on, flip. You start thinking about some of the I guess tech names that you like on value, and particularly with a Square, things that might have crypto exposure. You're going to want to note. I mean, the good sign is as the market's bouncing, you are getting crypto bouncing off 42.5 as well. But something like a Square, it does fall into the category of a great level here at 245. The only caution I would have is, the market open. Let's just say we do get a bit of a rally here. Just make sure that you're bouncing up in crypto, because you wouldn't want 42.5 to break And then even if we have, like, let's say the NASDAQ doing rather well, Square could still show a little bit of signs of weakness here. But this is looking pretty solid. It's a great level at 245. I don't know that necessarily you have to run to the hills to grab it for the long-term trade. But on the day trade in particular, like, this is a great higher low here on the 15-minute chart at this 245.
I just want to say also about Square, I think I saw the question there from Sam there, the gold man. I don't think that crypto, I mean, Square and crypto, they are moving, but I think it's just, they're like highly volatile names, right? And so I don't think you buy Square because of the crypto dip, but they do have exposure there. So I just want to tell everybody, like, make sure that you're still in Square because you believe in fintech, not necessarily because you believe in crypto. That's all. And I hold Square and PayPal.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I know you agree.
For me, it's just a day trade.
And that's the thing. And if people are putting that relationship together, it's great that Sam, that you guys brought that up, because if they are moving like that, then we should talk about it. So over to you, Brendan. You've been waiting.
A few more to get through here, guys. AMC, I wanted to mention here, coming into significant levels once again. We were down more than 7% at the lows, still 5.5%, but kind of bouncing here with the overall market. But big time levels coming into play on AMC, pretty active here this morning as well.
Yeah, you're getting near that key level of 40 again, and you got down as low as $40.50 or so in the pre-market. A nice little battle back. It's great to see a lot of these assets battling back, including what you just mentioned. Crypto, Ethereum is back above 3,000 now, so that's good. Litecoin's back above 160. That was down near 150. So there's a lot of things. I'm only talking about Litecoin because with that Walmart story. Otherwise, I wouldn't even be talking about it. I bought $500 worth of Litecoin last week, so we're out a little bit. Okay, so 42.50. That's very small. 42.25 or so here on AMC as a break. I mean, we love to play those breaks that happen on this stock, because once the names get going here, AMC is definitely one that you want to be in, because it'll just move dollars. And for a $40 stock, you know, you may get your best bang for your buck on something like AMC. And we've already talked about this coming back down to this level. We talked about this last week. I was short on Thursday, and you know, again, I think that you pull back to 39.50. That's the 50-period moving average. As far as I'm concerned, we got there today. Whether or not you call, you know, $1 away is close enough for me. So I think that needs to be bought, and you can play off the bottom. And the bottom today is 40.50, so you have about $1 worth of room to the downside. I think that's really worth it. I'm going to be putting some bids lower, and then hey, if we crack this low, or even this 39.50, then we can get out. I think it's well worth the exposure here. But it's been 1, 2, and this is the thing. I like to trade stock, and this is what's making, maybe I'm trying to change my mind. Maybe the momentum is definitely not for the silverbacks right now. So you're definitely going to the downside right here, but you are coming up to a spot that's been supported many, many times, and that's 40. It was supported back here in June of 2021, obviously. These are just day charts, and then back in July it was supported there before we started the dip, but that's the level that had to break. So I still think we have to break this level before we get down to 30, 32. I mean, that's obvious. Of course, we have to break here, but this could hold. So I think this is worth a buy down here in the mid 40s. Let's give this back to like 41.20 or so. Let's give this a little bit of room back, and then we'll start to buy it. But you know, to be honest with you, there are better things to buy today. But if AMC can get down near this support, it could be something that you might want to load up into.
Yeah, and I actually am giving it to 39. Like I might not buy at 40, 50, 41 where we're sitting right now, but I look at this level down here, like 39.25 or so, and there was resistance. If you go all the way back in August, I mean, there was resistance at like 39. So I'd like to, if it falls, I'd rather be buying it a little bit deeper there, guys. I do want to get to, just quickly, because I know it's near the, only 7 minutes to go here, guys, and I am in BSTM. So I should try to cover this. It is on the watch list. It's one of the last ones here, Veresteem. They did announce an Amgen partnership. So that has some news to why it's actually one of the stronger stocks in the market today. But getting right into this level here, like a 380, that was previous support before making its high at 5, and then 380 on the way back into the downside with resistance, $4, that entire channel. Anytime a stock reverses off a level like that in the daily, I want to short the consolidation. This consolidation was at 355. I missed it. It broke down at 350, and now I'm shorting in front of 350. So I got it once at 46s. Ended up with probably too many shares and took a bunch out. Then got back in at that 45 range. I've been working it out in front of a quarter. It's making a pop back into 350. I'm not going to be adding to this position. I don't like averaging in at this time of day, and the market is bouncing here. So, and again, this stock has actual news. So I wouldn't let 350 go. I'd probably just punch out of it and then hunt at that 375, 380 top that it put in the pre-market, which is also the level from the daily chart. Another one which was strong this morning, Brennan, I see you're ready to talk about.
Yeah, we were dealing with, or in my case, fighting on Friday. Corvus, guys, CRVS back very active again this morning on the in the pre-market here. It's worth noting, if you go back to Friday here, this 4 to 450, it traded a lot of volume in that 4 to 450 area. So if we do get some follow through, watch the 4 to 450. Otherwise, I just marked off 580, which was this high, up to about 6, which was the wick high there. So 580 to 6 was the resistance late in the day on Friday. But expect to move back into 450, I think, for CRVS.
Yeah.
So, but I did trade CRVS here this morning, and it was just on a dip buy. I looked at Friday's action in the aftermarket. Of course, it moonshot, and we talk about how this always happens after 4 o'clock. It moonshotted off of $5. This little dip here, it's more like $5.10 to be honest with you. That's why when it got down to that price, I just put in a couple of buys, worked it right back up to like $5.45. There was an iceberg order sitting on the offer here up at like that 5, it was just actually below that 550 range. So I was able to get out in front of it. Now you're retesting that low. If this breaks 5 even, I mean, you could easily fall back all the way to $4, to be honest with you guys. So I'd be a little bit curious to see what happens off the open, although I've already taken my shot at buying the dip in CRVS and will not be doing it again. If this were to pop up into $6, could be worth a little bit of a short there. But hey, that's 70 pennies away, and the offer looking pretty thick on Corvus.
Yeah, I got you on that one. I saw someone as well. I'm actually not even in Caterpillar yet. We talked about buying some Caterpillar. Okay, Microsoft's doing on the downside right now as the NASDAQ's starting to turn around. So we're going to have our outs on Microsoft soon. We're in that one too early. 290, we can go over it. I think I put an order out to get out here if it does break. Oh, and then my script, of course, was done. So I don't know what happened there. We wanted to sell this and we bought it. Okay, it's because it broke a little bit lower. So yeah, Microsoft right here, the spread is $1. So yeah, we don't want to actually don't want to put any scripts out right now for Microsoft. Okay, so we're fine. Started to move at about $1 there. I actually just looked at Caterpillar there. I'm actually not in this name, but I wanted to be in it. I was wanting to be in this name at about 207, but it never broke those levels going back to the upside there. So we were talking about Caterpillar before, and I did tweet it out before about breaking out through this 220 area if that ever happened, but that doesn't happen. I don't remember when that was. Like, I just looked at my account and sort of thought that we were into Caterpillar, but we're not. So this is starting to break below now, and I'm just looking at some names like this, Caterpillar, John Deere, which is of course DE here. That's looking not great, but this is a $350 name, so it's looking a little different. But some of these names on the daily, like we talked about value starting to get hit right now. I mean, let's look at some of the banks here before we go today. We only have 4 minutes to go. I don't know, is there too many more names, Brendan, or are we good to go?
No, we're good.
We're good to go. Okay, so, oh God, Puke City. Sorry, but I hate our charts for this. For some reason, every day there's a dark pool dump down here at $25, and just the way that our compliance and the way that our charting team has decided to keep D-prints in, because for some reason there are people out there that really believe a lot on D-prints. I'm not going to shout them out because I still haven't been able to see any justification on them. But right here, 156. This is what I was looking at with JP Morgan. We're starting to break now, so you're down to 153. We did sell some last week at 157, 156. The same thing as what Neil was talking about, was selling some AMAT. Just thought that it was getting a little bit too high there, and now you're starting to drop back down below. So I am a little bit worried about banks here, down to 148, 150 or so, back down to the downside. And what I said there about dark prints is not that I don't believe that they are indicators of anything. It's just I haven't been shown anything yet that tells me anything about some of these dark prints here. So there are other dark prints, not like these ones, and I think that people that are into dark prints would agree with me. They're not actually looking at ones that are this dramatic. So let's pull back on some of the rhetoric I said there about those prints, because I know there are a lot of people that do follow them and chart them. And if there is something, please send me a DM or whatever, because I do believe there's something there. Another name that I'm on watch here, DraftKings, as I believe this needs to be bought if it pulls back into the low 50s. I don't know if it happens today.
Yeah, we got a question a lot earlier, I think, and I missed out on it. It was a firm. Someone was asking, what do you think about a firm? And quickly, I like 100. I'm already bidding in front of it. If we get it, we get it. I'm just ready to take that one. Ooh, did I actually? Oh, there we go. I just got in and out because I had a stop on my long. Of course, I got out of my CRVS long, and then I still had a stop in, so I just got in and out of that flat because I didn't want that position. But I like a firm in front of $100 if it gets there. I mean, look, it'd have to flush like a good 7% to get into my bid in front of 101. But this is it on the daily chart. If it pulls into the bottom end of that range, I'm going to try to pick up a firm on the daily on the day trade here, guys. So this is actually a live order to try and catch a falling sword. I am going to try to get full locker to the short side. That's the trade I liked from Friday into that downside trade. And we just got a question. I mean, people have been asking about Tesla all morning.
Okay.
Or Tesla. Everyone was actually calling me out for saying Tesla, not Tesla.
That's fine. I think it should be a Z anyway.
I know. It's 725 stands out as the first level. I know 720 certainly in the past has been a good one for me, but I'm going to look right into that 25 area. We've already bounced a little bit off 730, so it wouldn't surprise me if the market falls that you go a little bit deeper. 700 was a standout before. We never got there on the last dip. It actually stalled out right at 708 and then at a consolidation right at that 720, which we usually like. So 720 to 725 would be the first dip buy for Tesla. Under a minute to go. The market
is starting to go
bounce
a little bit,
but
well,
it's really slowing down.
You know what? I was going to say that because we're backflipping on AMD right now. Like, what the hell's going on with AMD? We're in the money now, $1 and change, as it just continues to rocket to the upside. So we're going to hold this one and really starting to cash in here on AMD. So that's, so far so good. I did want to I wanted to say something. I don't remember what it was. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Thank you for all the nice comments on the chat there about us being the best show, the most education. And I just think that's what we're trying to do is answer some of your questions and go with that. We'll watch Ethereum today as it's back above 3,000, now 3,050. With only 10 seconds to go, we might as well hit that. Who's on the bell there? I see her in her plaid today. Yo, Miss V, that's great, man. That's
it's green.
You got to go to like a pumpkin patch with that plaid. That's what I wear mine for. So get ready to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Let's go.
Thank you, Miss V. We're going to watch Microsoft go up here. We're going to watch out for AMD. And we've got Smile Direct as well. So right now, things bouncing around a bit here. Let's try not to get too stopped out here if anything does crash down.
Yeah, I mean, wow. Moderna bouncing the other way. So remember we talked about 430? It's already at 425. Well, 427. So mRNA going the other direction. I can go ahead and cancel that bid. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. If I was going to fade it, I did say 430. It came within a couple of dollars of possibly getting that entry point. Of course, it didn't really happen. So unfortunately, no entry point there. Smile Direct, I know a lot of you guys are watching this name, but still about that $7 level. Looks like it's trying to hold up there. Buy in front of 7 seems like it's going to be a good one. Moderna, all the way back. So it goes to 27. I like 30. Now we're all the way back to 420. Crazy action immediately. No need to rush into this, although VSTM still falling.
Yeah, we did talk about that. No need to rush into anything here. SDC starting to go back up, so that's going to be a good winner for us. What's not a good winner right now is that we've averaged in here to Microsoft. So we're going to have to wait to see where this name goes. Who knows from here? If the market keeps on falling like this, we are going to be in trouble. But we did take a last little bit on Microsoft. We talked about 295 or so. So we're going to wait out for that one. This is a one-day chart. Yeah, we have this bottom here, 290. I know Neil's in Tesla right now, so that might be more exciting. But 294.20 or so.
This is crazy. So I mean, 740 is usually a level. I didn't even talk about the idea of fading Tesla if it popped, but I look over and immediately start seeing it with the market still down, getting right into that 740 level. And you guys know 740 has been a level that I've been interested in before. This is the previous support going into last week. I think as long as we're below 745, this just feels like a little bit of a go zone, but instantly out like $1.50. Got to give Tesla some room, obviously, but what a strong bounce. This was stronger than I actually even anticipated. Smile Direct for you is still bouncing there, Sean, but also wanted to come back over to this EDSA. So EDSA is a big time mover. It's up 56%. A lot of people were asking about it in the chat. It spikes to $10, an immediate reversal off that $10 level, even dollar reversal. Yes, you better believe I like to look at this for the short. So 930 flush on EDSA.
Oh, hell yeah. Bang! Let's go, market. What up, rally? I said we'd wait for about 5 minutes. It doesn't take that long, apparently, as the market is in straight up rally mode. Buy, 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 buy. Let's go. We've got $1 now, $1.30 in AMD money right now. So we're pretty happy about that one as we're continuing to go. So that's starting to rally now nicely up here for AMD. Microsoft's $1.25. $1.25 in the money right now, Microsoft. So that's starting to make some moves as well. So this is a big day for us.
Absolutely, guys. I just got into that ADESA, EDSA here. It's actually starting to consolidate. Oh, okay, forget about that. I was going to say starting to consolidate off 9 even. It broke 9 even very briefly. Got to 895. I got 908. Check that to the short side. I like 850 for first stop because there was some consolidation there before. But this is a crazy mover. Smile Direct obviously making some moves as well. Tesla is holding forward. It's interesting. It was the first thing to go and the last thing to, I guess, continue because it spiked immediately. There was no drop at the open on Tesla, but it is finding resistance at 742. If it flushes from here, I'm all over it. mRNA. This is already starting to come back in. If we're going to be to the upside today, Moderna in front of 415 would seem like a buy to me, but ADESA now falling like an absolute rock, guys. So through that $9 range, or about 20 pennies in the money, going to start trimming that position for a nice little winner. Brendo.
One from Friday, guys. We were talking about U.S. Steel a little bit on Friday and Thursday, for that matter. Another one trying to bounce here, guys. Big volume just came off 21.5. So right back to pre-market resistance here for X.
Yeah, if we could test the earpiece, that'd be good. I didn't even hear that call. Microsoft, $2. I mean, what a day. What a day to be back. I guess that little vacation did energize us a little bit there as wow. $2 now and 50 cents of the money on Softy. We just took that out, $2.98 and change right there. So we blasting, boys. Not only that, we also just punched long on Ethereum. We said, forget about it, guys. So we're long here on Ethereum. It was ETHE, 29.15. It's at 29.50 right now. And that one's blasting off, but it's all about Softy. Let's get out just one little piece more here as the NASDAQ had that relief rally. So let's get out, man. We're $1.15 now. More than that was in the money on AMD. You can see where we're in on this one, guys, early. Bang that to the upside. We got it over Smile Direct as well. That's 15 cents in the money. It's been a good day so far, guys, if you've been able to be long somewhere.
Well, it depends. I mean, because just got some rollover here in Tesla as it got right into that pre-market resistance level. Weird, because Tesla went first before the market and then immediately starts to roll over. If it gets back down to 735, I'm going to quickly cover that trade, get out of all of it. I did get that Foot Locker. So remember I said if the market popped, the one stock that I really wanted to short was going to be that Foot Locker off of that 49 level from last week. Well, it broke it. It now popped back in, so you will see me short Foot Locker. Yes, we do have a report coming from Nike a little bit later on this week, and they are reporting that Odessa. I'm just gonna keep saying that because of, anyways, EDSA here, guys, bounces down through this breakdown level right at 920. I got 908. I took first leg out here at 880. I'll take another leg out in front of 875. If this breaks 850, I want to hold for dear life, guys. Let's see what does happen with this late mover. This is all about the rejection at $10 even right at 930. So anytime I see that, I want to be short that stock. Not necessarily for the rest of the day, but at least until it shows me a bid. 850 is probably where it's going to be.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure if that was for Brendan. We did get out a little bit there one more time. And now we're going to hold a little bit left on Softy. I just want to make sure that we can extend out here what we're doing for our Softy trade here and trying to hold something for the long side. And if you see the NASDAQ, it was a nice bounce there for that. So, down to here, we talked about possibly bouncing off 15,000. So there we go. On that one, we just got our Alibaba long here as that's been falling. So, we take a risk here with Alibaba. So we'll buy some 152s here, big time bottom possibly on Alibaba, so we'll talk about that. We just got into it, so you can get it with me right now if you want. 152 had changed just into Alibaba, and reason why, we're trying to protect that 150 area. That's straight up. That's all that we're doing. So Alibaba, we're going to try to protect that 150. Microsoft, Smile Direct, wow, what a turnaround there. We bought it there at 710. We got out 725. That was only 15 cents. Now we're holding a 15-cent loser as it's starting to come back to the downside. So watch out for some of these positions here today as we go. Try to capture your winners. Remember what we said, this could be a dangerous, is a very dangerous day to be holding on to anything in my opinion anyways.
Yeah, and I'm going to go ahead and now that you put in a bottom at 680, I had a 675 bid on Smile Direct. Look, at the end of the day, if it's going to bounce off of this pre-market level, I still like the 650 to 685 range, but there's no sense waiting below that. If it breaks 680, it's probably going to travel further. So I'm going to try and buy this dip as I just tried to get on the bid there. And again, I like it all the way to 650, so we're going to take a shot here, just starting that position. Still have VSTM, still have that one on the short side. Remember I said I'm not averaging into it. It's now looking to break above, and there it goes. Broke above that 350. I said I'd get out of it and then hunt for a higher price. If it plays off of that pre-market high at 375, then I'll jump into that short trade. We did talk a little bit about Square, how good that looked at that 245. Wow. Yeah, that's gone. 250 is now sitting on the offer. I mean, I see a print at 255.79 on my high, but clearly you can see 250 is the current high of the day on Square. If it dips to 47.5, I mean, that'd be a gift, and I'd certainly love to cash that gift if I could get it. But 250 on the breakout, sitting right here on Square. What a strong bounce that was off that 250, of that 245 level.
Yeah, holy crap. I mean, talking about bounce is part of my language there. Alibaba, like, you got another huge bounce here right now. We are in the money on Alibaba, $2. We were $1 there, and we got out. So that's another cash. So spin it one more time. I mean, this day has just, I mean, and again, I don't want to celebrate because, you know, the accounts, our long-term accounts, not doing so great. But we making up that cash right now when we have $1. I mean, look at these trades right here. AMD, $1.50 now in the money. BABA, $1.50 in the money. Microsoft, $2.50 now in the money on Microsoft. So we talked about this, trying to catch some bottoms here, trying to buy good names, and just figuring it out from there. So I think we've done that today. I mean, look what I'm long. AMD, BABA, and Microsoft. The only thing is, you know, obviously caveat there, BABA I don't believe is a very super strong stock, but we did get near that 150 level, which we liked. So that was a good buy for me. Upside down right there, bang, bang, great out. Microsoft still holding this one, man. I mean, I love Microsoft. We talked about that over and over again. Buy the best names. Not only that, if you notice here, if you're following, please do it. But on the sticky note, we actually added right here, right, 23 minutes ago, adding Microsoft 297.25, and we actually talked about it on the break there. So that was a good one for us, man. So that's $1 in the money, even if you got worst case price there, like I thought I got early on. But watch out still. I'm still not convinced that this market is in rally mode now. The NASDAQ still has work to do. I don't know, it's not bad, but we're still holding up. Not bad.
Yeah, I'm looking at Tesla here. It's now twice it's gone in the same range. It goes back up to this 242, comes right back into where I got the first out here, 737.5. If it doesn't break that 242 top, it's not the greatest sign in the world. This should be heading down to like that 730 level. So I'm going to go ahead and park a bit in front of 730 just on the off chance that's where we go. I did get that full locker. Full locker is absolutely not moving. So I might be in that one all day long. But that EDSA, and we talked about that getting weak. It is right at that support level at 850. It's trying to break it here. I got a 909 short. If it breaks this, I'm just looking for the buck. 8 even was around 8 o'clock where this jumped off. So if I can get out of this, I'll be more than happy to take the last of the shares out in front of that $8 level. We don't want to look any gift horses in the mouth. Not on this morning, right? Like, this is a little bit like Friday. There's so much activity here. You want to make sure you're banking those profits when you have a chance, guys. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do.
Yeah, I'm kind of doing the opposite right now, but I know we're trading different names here.
I'm short everything except Smile
Direct. I
Direct.
got you. And you're trading like EDSA. I'm trading Microsoft. So I believe that there is a little bit of a difference there. And again, it's both stocks. I mean, money is green and sometimes red if you throw it down the toilet. But the point is that trade your names, trade what you're best at, and just continue with that, and you'll hopefully be able to have some success. But the only reason I'm holding Microsoft is that it's just starting to go, man. I mean, if the NASDAQ goes, this is the name I want. This is now $3 in the money for Softy, so it's still going, and we'll do that. I mean, $1.75 now in the money on Alibaba. I mean, look at AMD that we're holding, $1.70 in the money here as well. As we're starting to rock and roll here, man. These are big trades. Really super happy with the way these are going. Let's just go, man. Picked up some quality names that I thought anyways at the bottom. Let's get a new name from Brendan right now.
We spoke a little bit about some of the vaccine names this morning. We didn't mention this one, but AstraZeneca with some positive non-COVID related news this morning. But just took out day highs there, guys. Up 2.5% for AZN.
Yeah, and of course, look, with this market continuing to scream like this, I mean, I'm looking at Tesla here, and now I'm just never going to make the mistake, by the way. I'm actually locking this one in. I'm locking it in right here where this consolidation break happened. I mean, if I can catch a rollover on Tesla from 40 all the way into 35, I should bank that profit, especially as strong as the market has been looking here. I'm just not a believer. Like the market's trying to get up here almost 1.25% now, only to the downside. So I'll walk away, take the profit. I'm still holding EDSA. Smile Direct, which I thought was going to be wild and crazy since I bought the dip, it flat out hasn't moved. So I think we've got a little bit of a sleeper in Smile Direct, unfortunately. CVR, at least for now, I should say. That stock can obviously get going. Corvus, this is also trading relatively flat. We had the one long trade, and then I got an accidental short that I got right out of. It is also barcoding and not doing a heck of a lot. So I'm in Smile Direct. It's never gone more than 5 or 10 cents in the money, or out 5 or 10 cents in the money. So there's really nothing to do with it except be patient. You don't have to go overly crazy on some of these names, guys. You can calm down. It's only 10 minutes into the open. I'll tell you this much, though. Moderna, it's up at that 430 level. So it's getting pretty close to almost go time for me. And it's wicked up here a few times, but it's really sort of, I don't know, the spread on this stock is always going to be about $1 a lot of times, especially at the open. So to say it traded to 430 is a little bit disingenuous, but it is really starting to test up to that level. I'd like it to extend with the bid following up to like 48 or 28 or 29 before I take a shot at this short. The market is showing signs of strength, but we're still 1.3 to the downside NASDAQ, 1.2 on the ES. So it is a nice little rally. Given the news here, I'd still like to take a shot at this 430 level. I just want the bid to catch up and the spread not to be $1 when I do it.
Yeah, and I'm starting to put out some stops now, guys. So, like, just reiterating what Neil's saying here, we got to take some profits at some point, right? So if we break below 298 here, I think we got to get out of softy, man. We'll put $3 in our pocket and just swim away. Swim away. That crocodile story. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I said that. Okay, Alibaba. And again, I was looking at this VWAP spot here. I was going to give it about $1 in the money for me, back to about 153.30 or so. But now we're just starting to real run on this name. So yeah, everything's starting to take off again, man. We're like cooking with fire here. Smile Direct, again, another nice win. 15 cents in the money again. Let's take another piece out. But before that, well, after that, we'll take a piece out. But right now, we'll go to Brendan and see what he's up to.
Not a great day to be a Cathy Wood ARC stock. Teladoc, one of those, down big time. Their COO stepping aside today. They're also updated their current quarter numbers that were a little bit weak, guys, to say the least. So TDOC down 3% here. A bit of a chop fest as well on the daily chart for Teladoc.
And speaking of that, new position alert for me just got ticked into Moderna here at 428.77. Teladoc's an interesting one, but I wanted to come to AMAT because relative strength and weakness, you see that bounce that's happening in the NASDAQ? Well, it ain't happening for AMAT. I can tell you that much. It's doing absolutely nothing but right off of the low of the day. I'm watching a 135 on this stock. I mean, I was talking about it being relatively strong. This isn't my idea of relative strength, but I guess people weren't panic selling it either, which could be the reason why it's showing this line of strength. If we bounce off 135 another time, I'd probably look to jump into this one, guys. But the first, have to get over to mRNA because we talked about that 430 level. And this is the kind of day you don't look gift horses in the mouth. It comes right down into 425. I'll quickly bank 250 on it and then shoot the rest for that 420 level. If we get down there, I'll be perfectly happy to bag $7 on Moderna. So it's weird. I'm on the bounce here. We're getting Moderna, which we planned for at 430, and Tesla, we didn't see coming on the short side of the trade. Hey, do what you do best, guys. Is that Miss V, I heard?
It is.
Hey guys, ATER made a nice jump at the open to the upside and now is up around 9%. Do you see any opportunities for yourself in ATER, guys?
I remember this.
I'll have to look at it.
Formerly Mohawk.
Yes,
another one of those.
A Tyrion.
Yeah, this is just, I mean, again, it's another one of those SPAC Left for Dead style plays. Now, guys, everybody, guys and girls, remember where the stock has come from. This lower high from last week is right at 1260. If you don't think that this might turn into some resistance, I don't know what you're looking at, guys. So, you know, I'm looking at this thing and maybe like 40 or 50 cents above. The opportunity for me would have been to short it off of that level. Now, we've already popped into 1230, so I guess people had the idea of doing that before it even got to 1260, and you're seeing a little bit of a trend reversal here in ATER. The one thing I felt comfortable going short on a pop, yeah, that's me getting in at 49. Foot Locker's not actually doing a lot of volume here, guys, and I kind of felt I would be in this one for the long haul, and by that meaning all day long. If it breaks 50, it won't be that long. So halfway there on Foot Locker, but I feel like I can kind of safely sit in this. I will have to put a stop in just in case. I mean, it's thin enough that I don't want this to go and break 50 without me. I'm leaving some room that if it bounces to the downside and rejects 50, I definitely want to be adding to the position, but I won't add unless it rejects that level.
Yeah, so we did get out. I'm debating right now. This is a nice little move down. We did get out of our softy a little bit early, I thought, anyways, because we ripped up to 298.60. But now you're starting to move down. Look at the NASDAQ starting to move down here. So we got to look out for some of these levels of concern for me, anyways, including AMD, which is up to 102. We could try to find some outs here. I mean, this is a $2 winner for us and still rocking. Like AMD, I'm going to actually hold on to AMD. I don't know why. AMD just shot up early, and this is a name that I want to hold on to. So AMD will be held on to for a while for me. No outs on that one. I'm glad we got out of our softy. Then the other one would be Alibaba, of course, that we're still in right now. And that's okay. I'm going to give this one back to 153.30. So I am giving up a little bit of cash here on AMD on Alibaba, and I do understand that. So I mean, I don't know. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a bigger move. It's been a huge, huge day for me. That ATER is nice though, up 8.5%. Maybe something there. What's up, Brendo?
Initial weakness in airlines. Some of the travel names on the list today, guys. Here's AAL. Not only positive, but then some. So these were the first to go this morning. Looks like kind of carrying this market. Some of the travel names, guys. Airlines specifically very strong.
We're just actually looking at Boeing with the airlines making those moves. I mean, crazy. Like, it actually just bounced, I mean, off of pre-market lows here at 208. I can cancel some of those dip buys. They're not coming into play. And then back up to 210. So pretty range bound here. I'm looking at Moderna. It just bounced off of VWAP here. Actually, no, it got down there. It did get to 422. So 422 half, it just bounced down to. If it takes another move down without breaking that 422 and then getting my fill in front of what was, the pre-market high, 420 break, there was a dip at 930 or just after 930 into 420. So I like the middle of that range for an out. If it does bounce off of 422 again, I'd probably look to get out at that 424. Thank you, Lucas, for always managing to hit that graphic. I always love it. So it's already been a winner. I can't lose on this Moderna unless, I do something ridiculously stupid. EDSA is getting very, very close to target here, down in front of this $8. Remember I said for the last of it, I was looking for that dollar move. We took some out in front of that 850, 860 level. Now looking to take the rest out in front of 8 even. Looking pretty good there. I see a lot of people cheering on the LIDAR, LIDR.
Yep.
Yeah, that's made that's a dollar move. That's made a bit of a dollar move. On very, very low volume as I pull this one up here, very low volume. It's only traded a 250,000 shares, so I'd be very, very careful with this one. If you're in this one to the long side and winning, just sort of look at what the the Friday high was around 950. That could certainly easily be resistance here for you guys. So just be very, very cautious and careful trading this. Volume is, putrid. It's non-existent on this.
I like that word, putrid, good one. So we're going to watch out here again. We did miss a big move, apparently, anyways, from what I can see, on PLTR. We were too busy buying Softy, BABA. You saw the damage we're doing, guys. So we're pretty happy with the way the trading went today. But congratulations, anybody there. We'll spin this for you because you just got a nice gift on Palantir, and you should be getting out too. This was a nice move right back to its pre-market or just after the bell opened highs of 27.70. So you tanked hard there. And the good thing about Palantir was, when the market opened up right away, like that's 930 right here, a nice move down. That's not even that big. Then a huge move up. Then the second wave came, knocked Palantir down to 27, and now you're back up to 27.70. So to me, that's a great spot if you're thinking about Palantir, maybe to get out. Maybe it's too late now, but I think if it does come back up there, you should probably trim a little bit here. I still have nervous about the day. This is not like an all clear, in my opinion anyways, that we've solved whatever the problem is here in the market. This is going to be continued selling, and some of these names aren't even off that much, right? Palantir, on a daily chart, like what are you back to Thursday? Come on. Like we're not even giving any money back in a lot of these names. So just be careful. There's a lot of talk about these, some of these higher flyer names. You talked about ARC earlier, Brennan, as well. So if you are nervous about anything, you can always pick up ARC-Q or ARC-F or something like that to get into a name that's going to be managed. You don't have to worry about these crazy swings. Yeah,
that's the thing. There's lots of ways to navigate here. I see. Look, I think we mentioned Zevo. It's on the watch as Zevo Biosciences. This is a micro cap. It doesn't actually have any news, but hey, we've seen stock move without news, and we understand that's something that happens in this market. So the volume very, very big. It's trying to get to this $8 level again, where it had one failure before. As I sort of yap away on this, I just want to quickly go. If you look at the higher time frame, key level break was probably that 7 to 7.25. So as it rounds back into the downside, I was about to say, let's short it in front of the high of the day. But there is a battle being waged, 750 to about 760, and the majority of it. Right now, it was just an iceberg holding 750 that just came right back in there. Like I said, battle being waged. I want to be shorting this pop, but you got to be careful when you play these names. There's no way I want this going through an 840 high, and the risk to reward isn't fantastic here for me to jump in. I could take maybe a third if it gets to 775, 780, but I wouldn't go full boat just yet. It's showing signs of strength, and I want to make sure the sellers are starting to gain control before I jump into it. So small here, and then we'll try to add to it, although looks like we have to get some locates. Unfortunately, I don't have them. I'm very close to getting out on Moderna. It actually bounced off my bid. It did break 422 very, very briefly. It looks like that one is going to be a solid winner for us, catching that top. It's weird. It's been Tesla, and Moderna to the short side for me. And missed out on some of those long opportunities. Caesars was up at 108 last I checked.
Yeah, we broke through Caesars, okay, yeah, I like that long. I want to get it, and we've talked about that. I want to get into some casino names as much as I can, and I really haven't been able to. And I want a bottom pick win in LVS, to be honest with you. But Caesars and MGM, very, very strong names, needless to say. Okay, we hit that stacking the money up because we did get out of our AMD. Once it broke 102, man, I mean, we're long at 140 cents, so 136 is where we were long. So we're going to take that $1.60 or whatever it was there and get out. We did give up about 40 cents on the high side there, but for right now, I think we did pretty good. The diamond hands, I'm considering pretty good there, so we'll hit the air horn for that trade as we got out of that one. Our Microsoft was out at 298, so I think, again, we did pretty good getting out of that one. You can see where that is right now. The only thing that's left on board, which is about to come out right now, is going to be Alibaba starting to break back down below. And again, I wanted this name to run just in case Chinese names ran more than the market. I don't know why I thought that, but you know, I still think that, actually. So let's wait. Whoa, there was a big bid. Nah, it's gone. I was going to say, there we go. Now we're out. There was a big bid. Oh, we tried to get out. We missed our out. Where did my order go to? 153.20. So hopefully when it comes back up, there we go. We're out now. So there it is. So we'll cash it out there. We'll put chicken dinner winners on the board of Alibaba as right now. That's another $1 win. We're getting very light, man. All we have is Smile Direct, which is, again, we're going perfect today. So what's up, Street Fighter? What's up to Ken and Ryu? Anyone using Guile there, the jackknife there, get an uppercut after that.
Guile?
Nothing. I like. I used to be able to freeze the machine with Guile, but there we go. Yeah, Dulcim is very undercover because he has that yoga flame and the fireball, things like that.
I hated Dulcim.
Anyways, that's enough talk about Street Fighter, but we'll go perfect on the day.
We'll go, I don't know what I was going to hit here. Well, I don't know. I'll just hit this one because it was the first thing I was looking at. I meant to quickly check in on where are we sitting. Yeah, 44. I could have hit the congratulations because I wanted to make sure we're up on Bitcoin before I actually hit congratulations, so I didn't do it. It looks like VWAP's all we're going to get here in Moderna, but I don't mind the retrace. We said 430 was a level we liked. It got... And I did wait for it to confirm and get here. If I took it the first time up, like you're just sitting on the offer, you would have got that first shot. But I waited for it to confirm, get right back into 428.77. I'm now out of this bad boy. So look, we'll go ahead and take it. It'll end up being $6 in the last of the shares. Kind of shot for 7 or 8, never really got it. That VSTM, I end up getting out of all of it. Whoops. VSTM. It's a NASDAQ stock. What am I doing here? VSTM, I did get out of all of those ones. So it is just Smile Direct and Foot Locker. The STM, Neil, give me a break. It's going to be Smile Direct and Foot Locker, which I'm in. Foot Locker, oddly enough, showing some signs of strength, and my chart is going to freeze here. So VSTM, there you go. It stopped me out at the top and then absolutely flushed, guys. So that was a good short, the pre-market, the first 2 times I did it. Shouldn't have hung on to any shares, but to stop out, you have to have an out. And sometimes it doesn't look pretty, but I said it would be at 350. There it is at 350. I thought we'd get a chance at 375 if that broke. It never happened. Now it's at the low of the day. So there you go. This will be a good stock for me overall, but wish I had found my way back into it. And Corvus, talk about a stock that looked like it was like a gapper up. One of the few stocks gapping up and holding strength, and it is now down almost 10%. So this could go short sale restricted in like 10 cents or so. What a crazy turnaround that has absolutely been. Gives it all back. Thank goodness, I had one dip buy and then got away from that one because I didn't even see that one coming. Smile Direct is holding up a little bit better for those gappers, guys, and I'm still holding on to a little bit of my Smile Direct. I got that at 696. It made a move into like 715, holding a lower high, but it just bounced off of 7 even. This one could really go. If this breaks 7 1/4, I think it's almost an ad if it can break 7 1/4.
Oopsies, agreed on that one, all fronts. Okay, so right now we're looking at NEO. I actually don't mind a short here in NIO. So that's a name that we're going to look at right now coming up soon. NIO, hopefully a short there, maybe, hopefully, I don't know. A short here on NIO if it breaks below right here. Did I just get that? No, I didn't. So that was a wick that I didn't get part of. 35.85 or so. We're going to go short on NEO. I believe it broke some key levels, right? So that's part of it for me. So there we go. We are now long. I'm just in a daze here today. We are now short NEO, 35.84. We'll see where it goes from here, but I do like it, so there's still more to come here, hopefully, on NIO to the downside right now, but more to come on this name as it is starting to go. SDC as well, nicely done here, it looks like anyways. On the downside, on the upside of Smile Direct, we pick up some 690s, and we're starting to rock and roll there, but I got to manage this NEO position, and we're going to see where it goes from here.
Absolutely, guys. And just a quick look, I'm probably not going to get involved in a firm today. Obviously, that dip buy is going to be gone, so got to cancel some of those crazy bids. That ATER continues to press. It did get right up. It got right up into that 1260 area. Goes about 15, 20 cents or so, and then is absolutely flush. So, I mean, I did look for this one for a reversal trade. This was pretty much at the same moment I was trying to cover that, or did cover that Moderna. So I'm out of this one and did not get into ATER. Foot Locker, which I am holding on to, and I should probably only ever look at this from the higher time frame. It did reject off of 50 even, like we were hoping for. So this is Foot Locker on the 15-minute chart, and this is all kinds of weakness. Finally breaking down and gapping down, like I guess a lot of stocks did below that 49 level. It has now held the lower high here at 50, so I'm going to hang on to that short trade. This could be one I'm in for that long haul. We didn't check it. Well, maybe you did, Sean, but we didn't check in on AMC.
I was, and then I got sidetracked with Neo.
Yeah, it broke it broke 42, so it holds that 40-50. I mean, there's no chance to get it, but I want to quickly go with the 15-minute chart here. It broke this 42 area that was a bit of a bottom, at least a couple of weeks ago anyways. So I look for 42. If this can hold up, I mean, the jailbreak could be on. Let's see what happens. I mean, I'm long. I added to my Smile Direct, like I said, if quarters broke, I would get some more shares. So now a few more shares long, and looking to see if AMC can hold this 42, because that would be a key bounce level as we send you to Brendan for Happening Now. It's 10 o'clock.
Hey guys, yeah, quick check of North American markets here. Not much of a bounce overall. NASDAQ leading still, both the composite and the 100, better part of 1.5%. It's been a long time since we've said those kind of numbers. The Dow and S&P more than a full percent to the downside as well. You can see the Russell actually leading here. As far as small caps, 2.25% for the Russell today. Here in Toronto, about 1.2 so far for the TSX. That was pretty meager for a bounce, if anything. Travel names were on watch today. CCL still down. I mean, it's chopping around here, 22.5 up to 23.5, essentially the range. Volume actually a little disappointing. I thought it was going to be more than that, but not much to talk about as far as volume so far for these. The other one I wanted to mention here, AMC, back to an important level if you go out to the daily chart. Struggling right now at 42.75, we'll call it. Couldn't even get back up towards where we ended Friday, guys. Back over to you.
Thank you very much there, Brendan. And, well, I mean, this pun's, just get the pun out of the way here. Maybe the best stock of the day is Best. That was that name we saw in the imbalance locator. I don't know. Maybe there is something up more than 25%. There was Smile Direct, and that's come back in. Now 9% as it continues higher. That's at 730 now. I'll trim some in front of 750 on Smile Direct, but BEST with a big breakout here from, I mean, 165 is going to stand out, of course, in the 15-minute chart. On the daily, you got to come into like $2. Like, $2 is obviously going to be a bit of a line in the sand here. It does have a lower high you're concerned with at 190 if you're going to be a bull. For me, it's been a fantastic morning, but we'll see what happens with Foot Locker. It's like the one thing I was convicted on to the short side, and it's screaming now. We talked a little bit about Boeing here, and another dip coming. I'm not saying dip buy. Another dip coming into that 210 level. I thought there'd be a lot of stock we could get at a value. I'm not sure you're going to get another crack at this Boeing at that 208 level. So if 210 goes, let's see if this can hold up. This market, and let's take a step back for a second, because we're still 1.4% to the downside. We've bounced on the NASDAQ, and this is my 60-minute chart. I'm going to zoom in so you can see a little bit better. We've bounced just barely in front of that 15,000 mark, but we haven't even gone 100 points. I mean, we haven't got 100 points without finding some resistance a couple of times here. So let's see what happens. Can we actually follow through? Get through like a 150, 150, like that 15.15. Like, I think that would be a stronger move. As I say that, I just mentioned that Smile Direct. This should not move with the market. I mean, as the market tries to bounce, I don't think that's going to matter at all to Smile Direct. This has been a bit of a squeeze or meme name. This is me adding when 725 broke. It just got to that 730 and started reversing here. If it can hold VWAP, I'd love to be buying in front of there as well, and then see if I can't sell. 750 isn't just a nice, pretty round number. At 7 a.m. on the dump, it consolidated there. It then consolidated there a couple of times again before reversing at 8 o'clock. So I think there's going to be some sellers at 750. So I'd like to get out in front of that if I can, but Smile Direct showing some signs of strength. It was a dip buy in front of the pre-market low. Now I'm thinking it has a chance to be even break out.
So I went long short the wrong names here. I rebought some Microsoft here thinking that we may rally. We'll take a 30-cent hit there, which is fine because we have $3 winners on board. Microsoft, it didn't even dent anything, but we did have to talk about it because we were in it. Breaking through 296.50, I don't want that anymore. So we'll wait to see what happens with Softy. I mean, maybe if it battles back, we can get back up here, or we could pick out some of these bottoms. Maybe that might be something, but I thought Softy had a chance to go there. Broke through VWAP, but again, I shouldn't be trading anything below VWAP right now, to be honest with you. Good out anyways, but we take a 30-cent hit there, so yuck. And what I mean by going the other way here was, what the hell's up with NEO? As the market's still trying to fall here, NEO looks like it's got its base. So we're not going to hold this for too much more against us here. We did start the short. We were trying to short. We talked about it on our list here that we wanted to short NEO anything below 36.50 here because that was a key level, and then possibly hold it up to 37. So right now NEO, and again, why 36.50? I tried to show this to you before, but my daily chart cracked, and it's just right into here. So we were in. This is 36 here. If you come back up just a little bit, I mean, 36.50 is just more of just a key level. It's nothing on the chart, but you could see 37 here a couple wicks. It looks like we actually got as high as that today at some point as well. So I don't know if that's true. It doesn't look like it, but 37 right here is going to be a level for me to be concerned about. But right now we still are short NEO, looking to maybe average in until that 36.50. But here on a 15-minute chart, it's a nice pullback down. But again, we know that NEO has a chance to rip our face off, so we don't want to go too much into this name. But we did take one more short against that 36.50. Looks like it's going to be a good call. Let's see about who knows? Let's see about getting some out if we come to VWAP here, 94, 95, 96. And then hopefully we can fall back down. But right now, our average price on NEO is 90. And I don't know, Neil, what you're doing with Smile Direct. I've already gotten out twice here at 20s, 25s. We're just tipping up to a spot right now that I'm debating getting the rest out at some point, like maybe even right now.
I want to give it to continuously higher lows. Before I liked 650 into that like 690-ish range, and I kind of feel like if it takes the top end of that range, I'll just get out of it. Virgin Galactic here because just a name that I've been watching off 20. Someone must have remembered that we were talking about 26 last week because they typed in the chat, Smile Direct, it's not Smile Direct, space getting to that 26 level, Virgin Galactic that is, and I love this level. And you can talk about it breaking in the afternoon, that 26, and then going up. Then we gap back down. Sometimes you can throw those prices out when you get a move like that that doesn't sustain. So this is the battle. On the 15-minute, 26 is going to stand out. It's broken, so I don't know that it has to be held to an obvious stop level of 26, but below afternoon highs of 26.50, that's going to be my out. I'm giving this some room, but I got to be shorting this. The market is not as strong as we think. And Virgin Galactic in a weak market, give me a break. It just got short at 94s. I'm short till 26.50 on Virgin. Brendan, what's up, buddy?
One that was very active last week, just taking off here, guys. Lucid to the upside in a big way, up now 2%. So it was a little choppy at first there, but it held 22 and then ripped right through 23 for Lucid.
This is where we need Randy, so we can yell in the background, Lucid, for some crazy reason. Yeah, so here we go. Ford, just talking about cars. Why not? So let's go over to Ford and see what they're doing. I still like, oh man, we have that bad wick again. Like, see, this is what I'm talking about. Like, what does that deep print mean? Okay, so Ford right now, down to 12.95. I still wanted to look at 12.80, so that was a level there. That was a little bit of concern. I can't even do it. I'll have to show you again, but I don't mind 12.80 on Ford, but we still got to get there, so let's go on something else here. NEO, we were it just came down to where we were again, and we didn't get filled, man. Wow, that came down to 96. We're bidding 96, believe it or not, there on NEO. So hopefully that can come through and will wipe us out a little bit. That'll put us out. We'll lose on part of this trade that we're going to get out on, but I believe that the battle all the way back to about halfway here, definitely worth taking something out. Now let's just see if I can get that out. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get it though, but right now Lucid, Lucid, you talked about Lucid. NEO just baby touched me there, and we didn't get out. So yeah, 395. 35.96 is one out, and hopefully we can start to crash back down. Not hopefully, I mean, I want everybody's positions to win, but if you're short, let's hope for this market to crash a little bit here.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm sitting only Smile Direct to the long side, but someone asked about Salesforce. How does it look? Like a strong stock that I absolutely love. Candidly, so just so you know, I own Salesforce here, but 250 is a big level. 255 is even better because that was the previous breakout. That's the middle of this cluster that you have here. And look, I don't know that you're getting, unless the market retests lows, I don't know that you're getting 255 again. But if you look at things that are showing some signs of strength, It's slightly better than the market. I mean, the market's down, like the NASDAQ's down 1.6, you're down 1.2 on Salesforce here. So you are showing some signs of strength. That's why it's not a bad place to look for a bit of a dip buy. And I do like the long in general, long term in front of 250. That's going to sound pretty good. Foot Locker though, I mean, wow, that stock is, if the market rolls over and Foot Locker doesn't go down, I might just get out of this trade because I thought that'd be one of the weaker things if the market pulled back in, and it hasn't so far. Brendo.
Headline on DD Global just out there, guys. I'll show you it here. Co-founder Lou telling associates she plans to leave the company. So not much of a reaction there. It was actually down initially. They sold it into 8, but starting to bounce here for DD.
So the funny thing is, like, I actually saw that news, and I went over, Brendan, to the stock, and I didn't see much happening when that came through. Yeah, see, and I didn't want to make the mistake about instantly always thinking about going short when you hear news like that, right? So I'm not sure what's going on with DD Global. Whenever you get, a founder like that willing to step down, especially in all of the turmoil that they've had, I mean, I don't know. This doesn't bode well here for Chinese names. So we'll continue to short them, and I'm still pissed off that I missed that NEO by literally half of a set. I don't know. But like Neil said, I should have been on something that was going to pay me, that I was going to pay for instead of sitting on the NASDAQ gateway. I like the NASDAQ gateway. That's why I used it. But again, it came down and just missed me. So sometimes giving up like 50 cents or something is definitely not worth it when this happens. But that's trading. So we'll move on. But I do want to give another short into NEO here as we're approaching some of these day highs. And I just want to fade off that. I don't believe the market's strong at all.
And I'm getting the same feeling as well. That's why I jumped to Virgin Galactic, although I suppose saying the market's not as strong as I think and then shorting Virgin Galactic isn't really making that point. Tesla would be, and I'm kicking myself, of course, so I'm going to go with, we'll do this.
A kick button?
Because at the moment, like Tesla was the first thing to bounce before the market made a bit of bounce at the open. So at that point I thought, okay, was there relative strength happening in Tesla? And when it came back to that breakout price at 34, I was like, well, I'd like the Moderna short at this point, and Moderna might be even better, which, okay, maybe that's still true. That's why I ended up covering this, and it goes all the way down to that 730. You could have got the full $10 move. And now it's not even giving me a re-entry point up around that 740 that we got before, which is what I would love. I don't like shorting this thing at VWAP when the market's just making up its mind. I'd rather short it off of my resistance level. So I'm backing away from Tesla. I'm just not going to do it. I just added some shares of Virgin Galactic, and if I'm going to have a stock that I lose to the short side on, outside of Foot Locker that is, I think it's going to be Virgin Galactic. Thank goodness we got out of mRNA. We'll walk out of some water on that one. Here's 430 again. So it actually breaks 430. I mean, these prints, you'll see, if you have a high that's above 430, these are simply dark pool wicks. It has not actually traded above 430 since the market is open or on any actual real print today. So 430 level has held. It's turning around again. I want to see it reject twice. At this point, if I'm going to short Tesla, I don't even want to trade this again. It's just why even bother risking anything on Moderna at this point? If it breaks 430, then we're coming to a level that I love even better, which is at 440 to 445 range. So I'll sit it out. We've already made our money on Moderna. We'll walk away from it, and then of course in Smile Direct, I said I would give it to
got out.
I know, yeah, exactly. My offers just, oh my goodness, yeah, my offers were sitting right here. That's pretty close to getting filled, and then of course it runs away from me, so I should listen to my own advice sometimes. If it does not hold that top end of the range that we liked, and that was afternoon consolidation, this is 685 here, I'm gonna go ahead and throw in a 685 stop. Looks like Smile Direct may be slowing down, and I don't wanna throw good money after bad. We got a good bounce off the bottom. I then buy it higher at 25s like a chump. If that doesn't go, I'm only giving it about 30 cents or so. Brendo?
Quick headline, guys, for some Canadian contact. Delic Holdings, which trades on the CSE here in Toronto. So this is out this morning. Delic going to merge with Ketamine Wellness Centers. We will have the CEO of Delic on the show coming up at 10:45 this morning. So news today, DELC on the CSE, guys, 10:45. CEO on our show, guys.
Cool, yeah. I mean, and again, in a market like this, you want to find names that are doing, innovating, doing some new things with some news. So that's a good name right there. Thank you, Brendan. And that's what Brendan does, man. Brings us these hot names so we can sit there, trade them, and have a look. On that note, we are looking right now at Smile Direct as it's starting to go one more time back down to 710. And I know we just talked about that, but this is a play that we're 16 cents in the money. And I just said before, man, forget about a 15 period. Looking at this name, I mean, how many times, even if you go back to the pre-market, sure, we busted to 770 there. but we've hit this 730, 730, 730, 735 even a couple times. It even comes right back to here. So I think next time, if we can get that, we should take that out at 735-ish right here on Smile Direct for sure.
So two things. One, I'm going to say that someone just said Uber is strong, and Ken H there. Oh yeah, breaking back above 40. Look, if Uber wants to be up 1% in this environment, then it is time to finally add to my long-term position in Uber, but I'll do it after the show because we're not allowed. Now, so I'll have to wait till after the show. Hopefully it's
Uber
a
is
reasonable
up, you
price.
said?
It's up 1%.
Okay.
But the other reason this is the best
So
community
explain
in the
why
world.
you buy it. Yeah, okay, explain space first. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll get to go to space first because you guys said 26. That's a level I talked about last week. We get in front of it. I'm able to scalp some out in front of 75s here. I got a bid in front of 25.50. This is the one I want to play for weakness. But here's the thing with Uber. On down days, like when you get those capitulation days, and we're still down 1.5%, like one of the things you can also do, it's not just about buying stock at key levels, but it can also be finding. Ooh, I was looking at Delic there, so that's actually going to be on my, don't give me, my daily chart's going to freeze. Okay, I'll come back to the daily chart on Uber, and I'll have to pull this off on the 15-minute because I don't want to flip and have that freeze on me again, but find stock that's relatively strong. But I was looking for, I was always looking for strength to come into Uber as opposed to buying it in front of a key level. Unless that had been like 30 to 34, if it had gone down there, I liked it. We're actually looking to break out past 40 and 40.25. So buying it on relative strength is another way to get in. Why wait around for the sky to be falling if you can find an area where buyers want to be attracted to something which has been beaten up? And Uber has absolutely been beaten up. I get that. I like it for the long term. I like it for a reopen play. They do have some concerns, of course, when it comes to driver classification, but the reality is ride sharing is not going anywhere. And look, they're going to figure out ways to monetize what is clearly a sustainable business in some shape, form, or fashion. And wait till automated driving comes in. That's going to be a big boon for them. Brendo.
Just a clarification, guys. Tomorrow, I apologize, my fault there. Tomorrow for Delic, not today. I was actually told last week it was today, but Tuesday, guys, we'll have the CEO of Delic on.
Cool. Well, can't wait to Tuesday now. And that's the other thing, too, guys. What Neil was talking about, that's why I wanted him to just clarify with everybody what the reasoning was, because that's what I try to do, too, is that, when a stock is strong in maybe a weak market, you kind of would rather pay up once you've found out the price discovery, right? Like if people are saying that this is the right price to buy Uber and they're in there buying it today, then that's kind of a good opportunity. I've always looked at it that way anyways, to sit there and buy. So I think that that's a good way to trade, and that's, Neil did a great job explaining it. That's why I wanted him to do that, because it's just one of those things where people might look at us like we're crazy buying stock in this down market, and I don't think that's the case at all. So just, everyone just be careful here today. It is a little bit of a dangerous slope, as you guys can see, and we've been trying to do our best to navigate said slope. With that being said, one of the stocks that I like right now moving forward is going to be NEO on the short side. We've tested a couple highs there. It didn't hold. If the market continues to fall, I believe, and I believe this, so we'll see if it happens, that NEO should come back in. And the reason why is we were sort of below these levels here. We'll see if NEO can't take down. I'd be happy with the 35.50 level. That would be a big win for me also. But right now, it doesn't look like it wants to fall. So there's kind of two ways of thought here. Either we're wrong on it because it wants to hold up, or we're just getting ready for a monstrous crash here. So we'll be very, very tight with this trade, but I still believe that this NEO short has some legs to it.
So IronNet on the move again, because obviously it is. By the way, shorts on IronNet last week got as high as $2.67 a share, which we declined to pay, only to watch. That's horrible wicks on this chart. Only to watch it fall from 37 all the way down to a low of 29 and settle in at $30. It's off the schneid again. This time shorts were 3.5 cents a share. That's cheap. So cheap that even Arun, actually no. I was going to say so cheap that even Arun would pay for shorts, but no, he doesn't pay for shorts out of principle because he doesn't like doing it. But this is a key level here. It's hard to see on the 15. Even the 15 looks pretty ugly with all those wicks. But you can see right here if I zoom in, lots of price acceptance around that 33. I definitely think all systems go at 36 or even, and then 38 are the really key levels if you look at it on the 15-minute chart. But 33 was already rejected once, guys. It's already done it here and pulling off a lower high. I want to try at least a few shots at shorting IronNet, which, internet security company, Russian internet security company that just low floatage has been bouncing to the upside, but cheap locates. Kind of feels like people had left it for dead. That does mean that more day traders are probably already short off this 33, so I'd like to get a better price. If I can, let's get 32 to 32.5, somewhere in that range with a 33 stop, and then hunt for 35 or that 37 level to the upside if it happens to get there.
Okay, so I had some real low bids on AMC that obviously never got filled. Well, they came close to being filled. What do you mean obviously never got filled? I was waiting down here at 41 and change. That never came through off the open because we didn't really get that pullback. Like if it would have acted like the NASDAQ and came back into here, we would have been long AMC. But again, we stayed a little bit disciplined on this statement, I think for good reason on AMC. And we thought that it was a little bit overdone today to the downside, which it was. It was down 7 or 8%, but you can never tell what's going to happen with AMC. But it's a nice move back upside. Still down that 3%, but as we said, the NASDAQ's worsening here, Neil. So yeah, just watch out for everything. I'm really happy with some of our outs here today, and I think that unfortunately it looks like I picked the wrong name to short, because if we shorted anything about 10 minutes ago, we'd be hella in the money right now. Instead, I'm just chilling out with our, this is still all AMC, with our NEO short. There it is. We're just catching out a little bit now on NEO, but we'll wait to see if that can come through. Let's check out Microsoft as another name here. I just was looking at AMC. I'm still not interested in this. It's been a nice move back up. If we can get back into this well here somewhere, 41.50, 41.25, something like that, then I think we could buy it holding it off the top. Because if the market's going to crash, I'm not going to buy a name that's near its top right now. This is not like opposite of what we were talking about for investing. I don't want to be in a name that is going to be exposed here if the market goes. So that's not going to be AMC. We tried to buy Microsoft on a dip, as you guys know, right here at 296. That didn't work, and now we're right back to days low on Softy. But we're also right back to days low on the NASDAQ. So I was going to say, let's buy this again, but I still can't believe that all these longs, a bull like me today, can still be very profitable. We have a very, very small LFT because of this. We'll wait to see what happens here. But was that Valeria? If so, throw to her, or if not, let's go to Brendan.
Hey guys, it's like o'clock. We really need your support. I know it's a tense day and you're super busy trading, but we would really appreciate if you find a chance and smash the like button. Guys, please turn your thumbs to the upside, and good luck everyone. Back to you, Sean.
Yeah, thank you, Valeria, for doing that, because I'm going to be really pissed off, first of all, if the Green Bay Packers somehow lose to the Detroit Lions tonight.
Chance.
You're not even... No chance? Okay. You're not even going to see me here tomorrow. Let me just put it that way. That's not the truth. I will be here tomorrow no matter what happens, unless I don't want to say anything drastically. But okay, 1.3K likes, and that's the point here. Let's give a big shout out to Miss V here. We're going to try to get her on the screen a little bit more often because look what she just did to the likes, up 30% right there in a matter of seconds, so 40% right now. We're not going to be happy till we get to 2,000, but I'm still super happy now that we were able to get you guys, especially on a down day. So, that's generally pretty good. We noticed, Neil, that our show gets a lot of love if the market was up 600 points because people are feeling good about themselves, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
But the best buying opportunities are on down days usually.
I believe.
Well, not usually. I mean, pretty much almost always. Speaking of opportunities, look, we're talking about the possibility of infrastructure bill not happening, and Biden not getting what he wants out of it. So
probably a good opportunity
for a couple of minutes, for a couple of seconds, probably not minutes. We'll talk about U.S. steel. For me, the levels that I've been a buyer of this thing have usually been like 10, 20, and then some swings 25 into 30. It's now coming right back into this $20 level, which has been fantastic support. We're at 21.75. I think if it levels off here, and again, you have usually on every dip, but this is the kind of stock where it'll settle for a day or two. You don't have to buy it on the down day, but it's getting very, very close to that. Foot Locker is finally back to flat for me. I cannot believe how strong that stock has been. And another one that I cannot believe how strong the stock has been, Virgin Galactic, which you guys all know. One time if it'll actually load. There you go.
There we go.
There you go. There it is. Finally, daily chart actually loading for me. But it continues to roll over. And if you want another reason to hit the like, hey, the algo loves it and it grows the community. And the more eyeballs we have in the market, the less trades we miss because, hey, at the end of the day, we're all just human beings with the assistance of watch lists, scanners, and Brendan, obviously, to give us some of those names. But hey, I had forgotten all about Virgin Galactic in that 26 level, which should not have happened. I love this 26 level. You can see what happens here. Now we're going to get a chance to possibly get out some shares in the 25-50 range. I want to be holding some for the low of the day, which is currently right in front of 25 even. If this market cracks the bottom, I just don't see how Virgin Galactic can hold up in that circumstance. So we'll ring the register again. We'll walk on a little water, but I'm shouting it to you guys for pointing out a level that I should not have missed. I didn't even have Virgin Galactic on my iPad this morning. And this is one of the levels we absolutely loved off of 26 last week. And as I say that, the market starting to come back in, even something like an Uber, you know, I'm going to pick up some more regardless, but I like the fact that it's going to be able to dip off the high. It's still up 0.5% in a market that's now approaching down 2% on the NASDAQ, so relative strength is intact. It's going to be a buy at some point in the afternoon for me, just whenever I get a chance to be able to do it, but it is turning around off 40 even. That Zevo, is it, it is Zevo, sorry. Zevo, I never got locate, so I never had a chance to be able to short this name. It would have been a good one, if you can ever see it here, off of that $8 range. It held out so many opportunities to get it short off that high, but no locates, no chance. If you're still long in this, maybe you got it in the aftermarket, maybe you're holding it at 280. This is up 150% and showing some chinks in the armor. If it breaks 650 here, I mean, an obvious test, $1 lower, I wouldn't be giving up that much profit. This is more than double up. I would be taking that all day long. There's no news to this. And it doesn't mean low floaters can't run for a day or two, but they always come back at some point. So for me, I'd be taking profit. No one ever went broke doing that. And no one was ever worse for listening to Brendan. Time for our small cap recap.
Hey guys, yeah, busy morning. Let's jump right into things here. We were talking about CRVS just before the open. It had already kind of rolled over a little bit heading into the open down to 480, 475. I was really hoping we would target this kind of 4 to 450 area. Did a ton of volume there back on Friday, but above us now, 560, 575, and then 6 was that high from Friday. So it did get back above VWAP here. So let's see what happens with CRVS. Not doing a tremendous amount. It doesn't look like those are going to work, but I was going to talk about that Zevo as well, because yeah, echoing Neil's thoughts there, might finally be done trying to move to the downside. Guys, back over to you.
We're feeling pretty damn good about something right now, because look at that. I just spent like a half hour, maybe a half a minute. Sometimes it feels like that, but talking about NEO and why we thought that it was going to go to the downside. And then so you roll the dice, you put on the trade, and there it is. So, I mean, the logic to me was sound there. The market's falling. We saw this level break a couple key spots there. It's like one of the number one. I only have like 4 or 5 names written on the sticky note today. Find me at TraderTV, Sean, if you want to look at that. As there it is, man. This is a 35-cent winner right now. So this is right where we took our first short. So if it didn't average in, you're back to flat now. That's good. You may want to take some out. But we did average in, and we did talk about that. That was our plan the whole time, man, was to average into this. We were going to watch out for this 36.50 level, and then ultimately, if we had to, take some out upside, maybe 37, but our first target to get out was going to be 36.50. So with our average price, you know, in the teens or, you know, tens or so, that would be 40 cents. So we're getting right now into a good ratio here. So with NEO still coming to the downside, we're going to watch out for the NASDAQ just now cracking below. The key about the NASDAQ is, and those of you that have watched the show know how much I talk about it, but that 15,000 level, it just bounced off of it. So we'll see if it can hold. But if it doesn't, man, then I want to hold this till the cows come home. Literally, I may still be in this one at 3 o'clock when we come back live. And don't forget that we do have, if you're saying, oh man, I want more of this, well, get ready for something better, because Memes and Movers is coming on board in about 35 minutes with Trader Pratt and Miss V. And I don't know if there's too many meme stocks today. You've been trading a couple of them, but there's always stocks to talk about. There's always movers, and I think today is one of the best opportunities. Here we go, guys. Fall in a hole. Adios, NEO, as it's starting to go to the downside right now, taking out some of the lows that we're looking at right now. I don't think it's a horrible opportunity to get some out right now. So we'll do that for 40 cents in the money. We'll take out some NEO and then hold the rest, like I said, and see where that goes for the rest of the day. But take advantage of this in case we do bounce off 15,000.
I see you, gold man. Don't act like I don't see you there. Asking what I think about Nvidia. What I think about Nvidia is, oh man, I should have been looking at this for a dip buy at 208. I looked at a lot of names this morning, and Nvidia unfortunately was not one of them. But you do look at, I always like breakout prices from previous highs, and this is like 207.5, 208. And then where does it turn around? Where does it find that bottom at 208? So that's the kind of thing. We're prepared for this, and look at the flush out. This is a wipeout bottom. I don't think there's a trade in here. I mean, if I had a chance to maybe short this as the market's retesting those lows, it would need to be at about 13 to 14. But at that particular point, you got to be looking for these dip buys in the moment, even if it seems like a pie in the sky type of price. And that's come and gone for Nvidia here. Virgin Galactic is catching a little bit of bid. I still have this one to the short side. And as I say, catch a bit of a bid, it is well off of that 26, which has been a great level on the daily chart. But here's 25.5. I got out 55s. the next leg out. I'm sitting in front of 25 even, expecting that to be another level. I mean, 26, the 3/4, the 50s, and then the rest out in front of 25 even. It kind of speaks for itself the way we like to trade some of these names, so we'll go ahead and repeat that bit of a pattern. This is a stock that if it comes back up to 26, I am absolutely willing to reload. Speaking of reload, okay.
He's reloaded.
So I didn't reload on Moderna at 430 level we liked, and it goes right back up to 430 and gives you the exact same trade consolidation at 425, 426, and then makes a bottom at 422. So you could have played it twice. I decided not to go at it again. I kind of feel if it breaks 420, this could be like a rest of the day short kind of idea. And I am sitting in something which I will be in. Thank you, Lucas. Is it Lucas or Valeria that's so fast on? I can't even get it. I'm not even
It's not
done.
Valeria. I don't
I'm
think
not
Valeria's.
done saying 420, and he's already flashed the graphic on the screen, which is just impressive. So good job, buddy. But I added to this Foot Locker because it bounced off of 50 again, or shy of 50 one more time. I got 49.25, so that's it. I'm not adding to this again. I've already gone 3 times here. And if it breaks 50, fine. If this market cracks the low, and Foot Locker breaking multi-day bottom, a decent level here on the daily chart as well. So we'll go zoom right out here if it'll fill in. But this is a level, the multi-day level that broke at 49 even on Foot Locker. If you go you have to go all the way out and then back into the beginning of the year here in March. When we've been at these prices. And when it got through here, it actually flushed another few dollars down into 46. Like that's the move I'm anticipating. If we break lows, that's what I thought was gonna be happening on Foot Locker. It's not going yet. It's basically a flat trade. But this rollover we're hunting for last week, Arun and I were talking all afternoon about this level on Foot Locker, but not much to be seen just yet.
I'm going to average back into, Foot Locker again, with some of these Chinese problems, inventory could be a problem as well. NVIDIA down to 211. Okay, that's starting to go. I know you just talked about that. Smile Direct. So again, punching ourselves in the face, or me anyways, for that one, because I guess I had a good idea but didn't execute on it, about getting out right here. Okay, my mic's still on. Okay, about getting out right here at the high side about 730, but right now we are fading back in, so we're not going to give Smile Direct too much lower than its day's low. If you want to break down here 679, then we're going to get out. I'm not going to give back what we made on this name just because it's not acting the way we thought it would. So 680, and we're gone on Smile Direct. Normally, I would probably give this into this area, 640, 650. And again, if you're long this name in your own account, you may not want to get out right this second. I'm just simply scalping this out just in case it doesn't want to go, so which it doesn't look like it wants to. So Smile Direct breaking through the day's low, and we'll get into that. But we'll try one more shot right now at 690. So our average price here 91. So we'll see if it can work. But so far so good, because that's 15 cents. That's 7 to 725. Sorry, 708 to 725. That's 13 cents. And then right here 692 up to 720. So that's about 28 cents or so. So the fact that we're long now at 91 and we can lose 11 cents here, well in my parameters for that. So just a little bit lower than 680, and we're going to get out of this trade. But I like it. We'll pick up some Smile Direct on the low side. Maybe Brendan has another name for us. What's up, bud?
About ZK International, guys. ZKIN on the NASDAQ here. Back down to significant support levels, off a little bit today. ZK International Group's a manufacturing and engineering company that works on high-performance steel products, China-based engineering company building and investing in innovative technologies for the modern world. They have a subsidiary that is called Exigma, which is a blockchain R&D company, guys. They're teaming up with, get ready for it, Maxim Magazine for an NFT marketplace. That's what it looks like. You can join the wait list up here already for this NFT marketplace. Again, ZK International, their subsidiary, which is Exigma, teaming up with Maxim Magazine for this NFT marketplace. Again, check out MaximNFT.com is the website you want to go to. The stock ticker, again, ZKIN, listed on the NASDAQ. Get ready for Maxim NFTs.
It's funny because
Playboy.
Yeah, druggist there says Brendan has a stack of Maxim magazines in the bathroom, but no, it's not. It has nothing to do with that. I mean, you can put reading material there, right? And I was going to say that the point is that I remember Maxim magazine, and those things were the bomb. So that's great. I think there's a good opportunity to invest in that as an NFT. But I know what they were saying. But Maxim magazine, hey, look, it's kind of a blast from the past for me to hear that name, anyways.
100%, man. But like I was sort of saying there. we saw what happened to Playboy
Look at
when they
Neo.
got involved in the
the NFT
game. And that absolutely blew up. So that's a very similar play as far as I'm concerned. So good look there, Brendan. I want to get back to IronNet just a little bit. It caught a couple of little bids here at 30.50. I like this to the short side. Today you can actually short it for 3 cents a share, which I did mention once. That is a small fraction of the cost of locates last week, which were ridiculous, by the way. It got to that 33 and reversed. It's trying to get back into this price, and I wanted a consolidation lower, but if it wants to turn off of 32 or even this 31.75 area, maybe I'll just take a quick shot at that one. I want to take multiple chances for this because I just don't, like, again, I don't believe in it up at these prices. Just to show you where IronNet has come from, it's still actually a double up, if not even a triple up. The price that we got it last time for those great shorts was right in that same range. It's about 30 to 31. So this is kind of in that same target area when it gapped up the first time where we had fantastic shorts. And even then, it gave you 2 looks at it at that 31 price range. This is why I like it here. It was then a breakout through 31. Now we're hunting back below this same price. So it seems a little bit random here, but trust me, you pull it back far enough on that higher time frame, and this 31 level looks pretty solid. So if I can catch something from here into this 31.75 without having to chase it too far, I want to see if I can get involved for the first time today in IronNet to the south side.
All right, yeah, not bad IronNet, and not bad Neo. As we're gonna say it was easy, but it wasn't, because we had to hold this one against us for a little bit. Not too much against us, and actually we were able to top tick Neo as well. But again, it's working out, and I just like when the story works for us, and things actually start to follow, what I believe should happen. So that's going to be a good trade. I mean, we're getting close. I said I'd try to hold this one all day. I still think I will, but again, when I say that, if we retest some of these highs, we will have to get out of Neo. So we'll watch that. Maybe even VWAP here, 35.90 or so, which is a while away, but it is dropping down to today's low right now. That is NIO. I guess we could still hopefully watch this one. It's only 10:33 right now. There's JP Morgan, man, down 3%. Nvidia down 4%. Snapchat down 5%. Brendan, what's up?
AstraZeneca definitely not down. They had a couple of positive notes this morning. One on a non-COVID related drug that they were working on. So a trial that came in better than expected. There was also an upgrade I just saw in price target increase from Guggenheim on AZN. What a day so far. 3.75% here for AstraZeneca, guys. Let's get a check on how things in Europe are shaping up. We're getting towards the end of the day over in Europe. What's up, Miss V?
Hey Brandon, European markets are negative near 2-month low. AstraZeneca, primarily listed in London, is up more than 4% after announcing promising results for its breast cancer drug. Back to you.
Here we go, Miss V with the headline for AstraZeneca. Yeah, primary listing obviously over in the UK, guys, but you can trade the ADR in the US.
Well, yeah, so I guess it's a place to hide, I guess. We do some videos like that. That would have been a good place to hide. What's not a good place to hide, though, is you might as well smoke. And we talked about them ever giving out stock certificates, but if you ever got a stock certificate, you may just want to roll it up. And then I don't advise smoking it, but I mean, be pretending to do that. Look at CGC, just doot, 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 doot. Yeah, no, that's cool, man. I mean, I like the beats, but I mean, honestly, if you can hit yourself over the head, owning some of these names. We'll try to find a daily chart here, as I have no idea where my charts have gone. That's not a day. Here's a daily chart. I mean, look at CGC. It's just been a sad state of events here. As I am a shareholder in CGC, and I've been talking about it being the best one. But ever since you broke this level right here, $22, man, it didn't hold that, and you barely have any green days. So I don't know if these. I don't know. Maybe next time we have Raheem Alani on, we'll talk about it. But yeah, this one just still continues, man, to tank down. And I don't know if there's any good names in the venture or the CSE, but the biggest and the baddest of them all, in my opinion, anyways, CGC continues to fall down. And this is if you're not talking about multi-state operators, right? Because those are starting to hold up a little bit there. But look at Tilray. I mean, same kind of thing, down 7% today. I don't even know if there was anything in the news about this. I kind of ignored these guys, but wow, just a nasty day to the downside. And if you want to pick some up, I mean, you can do that, but you're down 7%, so you definitely are getting some on a discount. It's a very, very nasty day here for marijuana.
Yeah, and not a nasty day if you're looking at bros.
What up, bro?
You know how we do.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing when bros was going on. Like, I would say the stock, and there was no yelling of what up, bro, because look, Arun's fun. Don't get me wrong. It's just some of the back and forth. Sean and I have got down Obviously, we've been trading and sitting next to each other for a while.
By the way,
Bros
the Bills, wow.
35-0.
I mean, Tua got hurt early. I don't know. Who was their backup? I always
apologize to any Miami. The Jacoby Brissett, who used to play for.
Oh, yeah, he was
the
actually
Colts,
not that bad for the Colts when he filled in.
Well, he was okay for the
But the Bills have a serious defense.
He wasn't okay yesterday, Jacoby Brissett. It was a mighty effort, but they got absolutely destroyed. So thank you. But also thank you, Josh Allen, for.
Are you going to win both your games?
Josh Allen had a free touchdown, and then he slid, and then his knee went down when the ball was literally at the 1 inch.
So they checked it, and
they checked it, and the game was over. It's 28-0.
Not even in the other pool.
28-0, and he had an easy touchdown, and then Moss got it in, and that actually could end up mattering to me. No, it didn't matter. I had Alvin Kamara on my fantasy.
He didn't do much either, right?
He had the worst game of his career. So anyways, that didn't work out well. So one league I'm 4-0, one league I'm 0-4. We'll see what happens. Not a good title defense so far for me. But I was trying to talk about Bros, which is above breakout 46, breakout 43.5. That's a random price. 50 to 52 are massive levels on Bros. Look, it's at the end of the day, it's only been trading for a few sessions. So when I say massive levels, I'm only talking about that because I had a short on this thing at 51. Only to watch it like double tap here at 53, and I never got back into it. But a big level forming here. If it breaks these prices, I should say, afternoon top, or not afternoon, I guess relief rally top here at about 48.5. I'm not sure it's about to get there because why? It just turned hard off of 47, but 48.5 is a monster level on Bros. If it gets there, I will likely be shorting it. I am in Iron Net to the short side. I am still in Virgin Galactic, although it's catching a bid. The market's catching a lower high bid. And Virgin Galactic is trying to catch a bid after having just broken the pre-market low at 25.20. Got about 5 cents or so and is trying to consolidate. I don't know if I want to give this one past like a 25.35. Especially, I'll tell you this now, for sure, if the NASDAQ breaks like 43.75 or so, and I can still get out at the bottom on Virgin Galactic, I'll cease holding it. I'm canceling this bid. I don't want it just in front of the low. If it breaks this low, I think we're testing 25 even. So I'll now allow this one to sit down in the money for me, try to hold it a little bit longer, but I don't want to give up too much profit. The same thing's going to sort of sit there with that Iron Net, but my first out's at least in front of $1 on Iron Net. I want to take a bigger winner there. But I want to check back in on Tesla, which was the first thing that I shorted today, and I didn't hold on to it. So, I'm going to be upset with myself for some reason thinking it was relatively strong based on the fact that it was one of the first things I saw to bounce, and maybe that shouldn't have been enough of a reason. Tesla now sitting at days low, still nowhere near that 720. It was the 720 level that I like for dip buys, a little bit better than that 7.25. Still a chance that we get there on Tesla. I'm not sure the story is done when it comes to selling in this particular market, guys. It's just a heck of a lot of weakness, and I do want to come back into one other name, which
I'm cashing out of some Smile Direct if you have that. I don't know if you do.
I actually got stopped out of it already, but again, Moderna is back at that 430 level. This is now the third time it's tested, but looking a little bit stronger going into it. Moderna is setting up for 430 breakout long, believe it or not. But if it gets to 445, I'm shorting it. So that's a maximum $10 trade, no more than that. But Moderna setting up for a breakout long, I would just need to see the market showing some more signs of strength. That will be ideal.
I'll take a $10 winner. Hell yeah, that'd be great. Okay, so Smile Direct, we'll just go, good idea, because we defended the bottom when we talked about that we were only going to take 11-cent risk on that last defense. So there's an 11-cent win right there, 1-to-1, literally. We just got out at 702 off of a 691 bid. So there we go. You can see we're still along that 691, but we did take out half of that position right there. So hopefully now, if we run up, great. And if not, if we take it out, we'll average in. Well, I mean, we won't average in. We'll just get more shares if it does come back down here in case it falls, and then we'll use our 80 as our out one more time there on that name. So that's starting to run a little bit for us, which is nice. And then a new position alert, and we're hoping because it was a big timber down for us on AMD, now we're coming back in here. It just got killed. We got a nice bid early. Couple great outs there on AMD, and like Neil was mentioning there, we're not going to throw out the profits that we've made on this. So we're going to use this wick down here, about $100.70 as our out there. We took about $1.70 win there. This will be about a 30-cent worth of risk on a pullback in here for AMD. Let's see now if it can. I mean, I don't even mind taking this out at 40, to be honest with you. We'll take out half if we can around 40 for 30 cents, and then if it wants to run, great for us. It will run. But look at the NASDAQ right now, starting to tip right at our day's low. So this is a slippery slope, needless to say, here today on Trader TV Live. And if you're in the market, Brendan, I don't know if Brendan's been doing some painting or not, but wow. wow, that screen is awfully red. And
you are wearing red today.
I know, and I screwed that up, and that's my bad. I woke up and I knew the market was horrible. I just opened up the closet, and I was like, oh, this is a nice fall color, but evidently it is a market.
It is a nice shirt, though.
Thank you, but it is a market killer, apparently. So we'll get off that, but let's throw it over to the big screen now with Brendan. I see some blue, Brendo.
A little bit hard to find, but yeah, we'll show you some positivity. How about that? Because it's bright red today, definitely. Way down here, utility stocks, the entire group, in fact, positive on the day outside of AES and NRG. Pharmaceuticals as well, INCY up 2.4%. I mean, there's a couple that are in positive territory. Don't mind Comerica here. The system seems to like Comerica today, maybe because it is another one that is positive, but that window won't close for some reason. But I'll show you consumer discretionaries, guys. So it's consumer discretionaries, it's the banking sector, and it's tech stocks that are leading. All three of these, the entire group's in negative territory in a big way. You can see, look at Tapestry here leading 4.1% there. PVH, RL, UAA, to name a few, all down about 2.5%. 4% over here. SIVB, KeyBank, Citi's there as well. 4% for Citigroup today. In the tech sector, semiconductors are the worst off today. Again, around that kind of 4% level. Software makers as well, pretty negative. Same with hardware equipment makers. So you got to look pretty hard for positivity today. But as I mentioned, utility stocks, there are a few in the pharmaceutical group that are in positive territory. And oh yeah, Comerica, if you didn't notice, 1.9% today. 1.6 to the downside for the market, guys. Back to you.
Speaking of to the downside, we talked a little bit about a team that'll be to the downside tonight, which will be the Detroit Lions. But someone just in the chat was like, don't bet against the Lions QB. He was in the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. I mean, the Rams were in the Super Bowl a couple of years ago.
I mean, first of all,
I don't know how much it had to do with Jared. Look, Jared Goff seems like a really, really nice dude. I saw a really hilarious prank that he did on a college game.
I think he has a nice wife as well.
He seems like he's a fantastic person.
It seems like his wife is a great person as well.
Fantastic. But he's not beating the Packers tonight, okay? Can we just get this out of the way?
No, I mean, look.
No.
If the Rams believed in Jared Goff, they wouldn't have the Lions quarterback right now.
Matt Stafford.
So, I mean, they swapped them, right? And so we'll see what happens there.
Matt Stafford.
Obviously, they gave up some
toughest guy in the NFL.
He's a good guy. I mean, he's going to be close for the MVP race this year for sure, especially if they keep on doing what they're doing. So, again, congratulations to the Rams. But hopefully tonight the Lions will be in big-time world of hurt. But
we have one of our entries in the Survivor on Green Bay.
Yeah, but we were 9-0, right?
Yeah, we're 9 for 9.
This was an easy one this week. But, okay, more to say here rather than sports. But
it's true.
If you can't tell, that is something that we love. Okay, so Roku today. Brendan came with that story. We're going to hope that AMD can bounce, first of all. That's the one key thing there. And then otherwise, Roku today came with a story. This is just a 1-minute chart, and it didn't really affect anything. I thought it was a new 4K stick there. I'm looking to upgrade mine. So I have the Apple TV, but I don't have the 4K. I got the QLED up on the wall here, so that was fun yesterday. I had to hide the wires. Here I am drilling and cutting holes in my wall to hide the wires. I should have asked Rob, who's sitting right there, swing by, or Vitali or somebody to come by, but they make too much per hour, so I just do it myself there and save a little bit of cash on that. And it's kind of fun, and my kid's helping me, but 75-inch TV is not light.
Pay Robin beer and comic books.
Comic books, I don't know. Yeah, he probably wants limited editions and stuff like that.
Oh, probably.
Let's go to Chinatown. Okay, all right. So Roku, then I'm not being authentic and everything. Am I allowed to say that? Okay, yeah. Unless Aaron Rodgers does something bad tonight, let's switch the topic here. I think we'll be okay. All right, Microsoft. So just like AMD, we are 14 cents in the money right now on AMD, but it just looks like it wants to keep stopping here. So I'm debating, man. Do we just take some out and just keep our scalp alive here on AMD? But hopefully the market can bounce, and we'll hold that. But with that thought, we'll head right over to Microsoft with only 15 minutes left. Like, this is, I'm over the moon that this thing shot up like that, and we were able to get out. I mean, that was just a great trade. And then we tried it one more time here. The reason why I'm not bottom picking is like when the NASDAQ does this kind of stuff, all I'm really looking for is like bump ups to try to go short or trade stock off key levels, which is why we have this long on AMD. So if we can find something on Softy, like a key level, then maybe we'll go. But right now, the NASDAQ's right at that 15,000. Literally, there it goes. It's just breaking through 15,000 right now. So this is not going to be good, man. Our AMD will try to get out of it if we can for that winner, but we're trying to hold for a little bit anyways.
Exactly, and we'll do a little bit of a spike because we just talked about football, but I got some IronNet out in front of 30 even. I think if this trend is going to continue, IronNet has a decent chance to get back to the breakout price of 28.80 where it broke out this morning. 29 will be a nice little target. Now, with the market continuing to head down, that does mean I am looking to hold Virgin Galactic through 25. It just bounced once off 25.06 and looks like it has a decent chance. If this market continues to capitulate, you got a 26 short on a stock like this, it's going to hold up. So I have 3 shorts on. I don't really have any longs that I'm in love with. I talked a little bit. We're in 15 minutes. We're going to be out of here. But you guys get Trader Pratt and Ms. V, memes and movers, and we won't be too far away. You know, we step in them for when they eat their lunch, so we'll be back as well. And hopefully I'll have picked up some Uber. We're going to continue to watch for relative strength, right? So Uber was one name, but there was another that Sean and I kind of talked about when Brennan was speaking for a little bit here, and it was Oracle. And I didn't think, there wasn't an obvious reason that I could find why Oracle was holding up here. I mean, like the AMAT sell looks pretty good, but if Oracle's going to be positive, then sort of selling this one off earnings will be a flat decision right now. But it's up still 0.3% with the market now breaking 2% to the downside and NASDAQ looking weak. Oracle holding up is going to be a very positive sign. You always look what is trading strong or looking good on a down day like this. And for whatever reason, Oracle, which is not the best growth name in the world, and sometimes it's these boring old guard stock that can hold up pretty well and don't get sold off because they're not high flyers. But Oracle has a strong chart. Like if I said the same thing, I could say that same line to you about like an Intel, let's just say, which probably won't be down that much today. Oops, that's not going to be on my watch list for any reason because it's not really a momentum stock. But if Intel, which is, there we go, we can add it here. Like, there you go. Okay, so it's actually, this is trading down, so it's weird. Even if Intel is down 1%, why is Oracle strong? I don't know why, but it is giving me some reasons as to maybe I should just jump right back into the shares that I sold last week of Oracle if it can hold up this well. That's what I was getting at.
Yeah, I wouldn't do anything right now. I still think there's a little bit of time to go here, but again, I don't know. We'll see what happens with the market. Right now, NEO just tanked down 60 cents in the money, so that appears to be a good idea at some points. Anyways, here goes AMD. So we're getting lucky right now. Luck, who knows? This is where Neil would say you're looking to gift horse in the mouth, but we kind of wanted this play, so I'm okay with it. It's right back up here. This is now a 30 cent or 28 cents or so win, or was at the top there. Now it's starting to come back in. Win for us here on AMD. So 101.25. It stopped on right there. Actually stopped on 29. That's why it looked like a 25-cent winner. So it stopped on 29. I think we'll just get out here. It's starting to rip back to the high side. A nice little win for us now on AMD, and we got to take advantage of that and make sure that we score some of this profit. I was waiting at 101.35 just because that was sort of this top right here, hoping that we would test it and come back in, but it looks like we're only testing 101.25. So yeah, that was 20 cents there. We'll take out half if we can get at my orders back there right now.
And yeah, with that 15,000 bouncing, it's just looking for names that I like for strength. Look, Moderna, it was probably good enough for me not to short that level again, but I missed that breakout of 4th. I'm glad. I hope somebody got that. I mean, give me a break. Like, it just goes like $2 or $3 almost instantly. I'm checking back in on a firm because this is when I was looking for a bit of a dip buy. And if the market's going to show some strength here, I don't think we're breaking out of the highs today, but you're getting a lower high being put in at what was a key breakout price last week if you go into Thursday, guys, at about 109. So I'm going to see if I can't stick a dip by them, but this will be more off of 15,000. If 15,000 can hold, I'm going to make a play here that a firm can try to hold this 109 level, guys. So it's going to be more off of the futures than anything else. But a firm at a nice level. There was a break earlier in the session and, of course, a break last week here. But you have to dig deep and hope that the market holds up for this play. And, of course, Virgin Galactic, if the market takes out that level, hang on to it. If we make too strong a move off that 15,000, I'll bank the profit that we've already had.
Yeah, we hit the pizza there because right away AMD just goes right back to the level we got out 24 there. So I put that 20 cents in our pocket and now just watch it. So just to give you guys an update, we are still short. We're long SDC. We can talk about that when we get back. We're short NEO, which is 60 cents in the money, and we're long AMD, which is only now a dime piece in the money. But we are getting ready, getting close to throw it to memes and movers. But right now, we got to throw it to Brendan for my favorite. It looks like the Canadian dollar is a little weak today, so that's a good sign.
Hey guys, yeah, currency time. It's obviously election day here in this country, guys. So if you're in this country, make sure you get out and vote today. Yeah, the Canadian dollar back to 78 even, down 0.3 ahead of the federal election today. US dollar higher on the day ever so slightly, 93.25 there. Look at the pound as well, down 0.5% today. 136.7. Bottom end of the board, obviously a lot of focus down here so far today, 6%. For Bitcoin, rather, 43,800. Yeah, we tested some of these levels on Ethereum early on this morning, 29.5 and 3,000. But trying to bounce right now for cryptos. Pretty ugly Monday, though, in crypto land, guys. Back to you.
Yeah, I mean, to say the least that for that. But that's what, if you rewind about an hour ago, I was like, there's something I wanted to say. And I want to tell everybody, make sure to get out and vote. That's all that it was. So thanks for Brendan for bringing that up one more time, or for the first time today about the elections. And how it works here in Canada, like, we just voted, was it less than 2 years ago, but now you can just call an election apparently whenever you want. And that's what's been happening now. Prime Minister Trudeau believes he has the votes. We're going to wait to see today.
I'm going to stay out of the politics. What I will say, I was telling this to Sean, I'm like, my polling station, it's different. Like, it used to be, like, I was walking 400 meters to, like, my daughter's new school.
Yeah.
And now it's somewhere else. I actually don't even know where
Ours
the
is at
school
the school
is that
too,
it's at,
so I'm hoping it's still
so
there.
I actually checked my card. They made it a little bit more annoying for me to have to go vote, but I go ahead and do it because I believe in it.
Everybody should believe in
Everybody should vote. Like,
whether or not you believe your vote counts or not, I don't know.
Just make sure you
But
do
everybody
it.
should vote, yeah.
Just make sure you take these breakouts.
Yep.
And I didn't take the
that too,
Moderna
yep.
break. So look, now it's gone through 4:30, and obviously without me. But let's not forget about that key, like 440 to 445 has been big time resistance. Every day that it got there last week, it was a good short. So if that happens again, I'll probably be all over it. But you got to be patient. You don't jump into this thing at 435, way in front. Wait for it to test higher, right? Because you eventually got these short, like it gave it to you. Like it got up here to 444. You know, the next time it gave you 445. Granted, on Friday it was the trickiest one. But that was a 9:30 rollover play, right? Like that was, okay, well, after it's shown you that level a couple of times, let's see what happens when it tries to take out 440, instant reject. So it still showed weakness off of that level. I did dip into a firm because 15,000 is holding, so it's a little bit different of a play here. And I'll quickly show you on the 15-minute, which is a little bit more clean to maybe see this, where that breakout was right at about this 109.5 to 110 level. That's going back into Thursday, not Friday. And if it makes the same push, this is the retracement into 111.50, I should say. And then you had some on Friday, in the pre-market action, 101.50 with some resistance. And then we tried bouncing up there at the open. I will certainly be taking this out. Like that'd be like $1.50 to be able to catch that. I'll take some out at $1 and the rest out at $1.50. But if this market starts roaring to the upside, you know, like breaking 15.1, that's when you just hold on to it. Forget about the range-bound trade. I like the dip buy here. This is more to do with 15,000 and a stock that's been relatively strong than anything else, though.
Yeah, we're going to congratulate and just, we'll punch the screen a little bit here. Watch out for your monitors if you have an expensive one. I apologize. But Smile Direct back to 7 right now. So we said we talked about that when we got back from Brendan. And again, those of you that this is not an endorsement for where Smile Direct is. I think it's actually a little bit high, especially when we came in this morning. We were at 750. You know, that's a very, very, you know, that's a big move for Smile Direct. You know, this company as a company here, and again, I've talked to some dentists about this because I'm trying to do some channel checks before I invest in this for the long term. It's still a stinker for a bit here. Smile Direct was just at $5. Now you're almost at 8. So you may want to get out of there. They're still waiting for a lot of approvals and whatnot. So you got to watch out for Smile Direct. I think obviously with a 30% short floater, it was before today anyways, close to that. You know, some of this move is not macro based. So yeah, just watch out for that. Smile Direct up 5%, and then a good trade off the bottom. We were actually talking also about context logic. Those of you that wish for a stock to go up, I know this is one of the ones that is very much wished upon every night to start to go upside. And if you're going to look at a name that I think could get squeezed right now, and I'm going to do a little bit of a longer term play for you guys. If you're looking for something here, this is really near its bottom. It doesn't mean anything. I mean, stocks can find bottoms at zero, so you have to wait for it. But right now, Wish, if you're looking to take some risk, and you don't mind, possibly taking 10% hit or so, you are right here now at 611, which is, its all-time low for Wish. We're only 20 cents away from that. So if you did believe in something here, online shopping and whatnot, there may be something with that if you wanted to play similar to Smile Direct that hasn't happened yet. I am not a buyer of Wish. This is just a name that I know has a short float attached to it and is near the bottom. So some of you guys that are sort of mining for these opportunities, this is one, but slippery slope again on Wish.
Yeah, Wish is definitely it's like a squeeze play type of name. Another name which has been a squeeze is that IronNet. Well, it's more a liquidity thing because it's a low float that's really getting you on IronNet, why it makes those big moves. But it bounced off 30, so good out that we got some out in front there at the bottom. It comes right back into the lower high, 31.75. There's a bit of a gap in my chart. The stock didn't halt. I can actually show you. It's just on my 3-minute chart, you can actually see it's filled in there, but definitely there's a bit of a data thing going on here. But 31.70 is going to be my out. I just got back into it here off of 31 and a quarter or so. Just that's an average price, I should say, but 31.50 just held. I want to see if we can get out again in front of 30 even. If this flushes, I still want to be exposed to the possibility that we could flush. Unfortunately, the market just broke that 15,000, so. I'm going to cover a firm. It's almost I don't care about
I was just going to say the market.
Yeah, it doesn't matter whether it hits a stop level or not. That, for me, the stop was going to be whether the market broke 15,000, so the firm is out. IronNet to the short side. I still have Foot Locker to the short side. And Virgin Galactic, like I said, I'm just hanging on to this one. It bounced off of 25 even, but the market decided to go lower, so I'm hanging on to that short. Tesla is now $6 away, $6 away from that 720 level where I'd like to be buying a dip. Timing very interesting here with the market breaking some fresh lows though.
That's for sure. As I continue to look, we do have memes and movers coming up with Prad and Miss V. That's coming up, Trader Prad and Miss V. That's coming up very, very soon. And I'm going to tell Prad to look at Smile Direct, SDC here, as it is approaching some decent levels there. As well as, what up, sir? As well as AMD, Smile Direct, Neo. They're all on watch now. Square starting to make some moves. And then what about Palantir, man? We haven't talked about this yet today, but as I hear Prad, I got to say thank you for the hat. Palantir investor one more time. And hey, man, if you're investing in Palantir today, you're actually doing quite well. You're only down 3% compared to some other names, and it battled nicely. Where are my minute charts? This is really, it battled nicely off the bottom. That's still the day chart, Sean, so we'll minimize that. To find the minute chart, there's a 15. Here it is. It actually bounced off real nice off 27, so we're going to be looking at that as well, fading out for 28. So right now we have a nice 61-cent winner on Neo as it is approaching. Come on, charts. There it is. As it's approaching its day low, NIO, 60 cents now in the money on this one. So we'll wait to see. And like I said, this is the name that I plan to hold all the way through. So hopefully NIO will continue to cash out for us. We did take an out there on AMD. It seems to be a good one. We're still waiting for this bottom to break. And when it does, we gone. So there it is. Take that out. Now, if it breaks, we're at least flat on the trade. So that's a good one there with only a minute left, Neil. Any last trading?
Okay, first I want to say IronNet back to that 30 even. So rinse and repeat does work. But I just got a quick little glimpse, and you guys are about to find out what national day it is. And my wife isn't watching, but my daughter has swimming lessons today, and thinks she'll be okay with having this for dinner. Miss V.
Was it Big Mac Day or something?
Thank you, Neil. And hey, guys, I hope you're having a good day and you found profitable opportunities on the markets for yourself. Please don't leave without giving us a like and subscribing to our channel. Me and Prat can't wait to start Memes and Movers, so please join our stream right after the morning show. And happy National Pepperoni Pizza Day, everyone. Not pineapple one this day. Sorry, Neil.
Don't be sorry. Okay, let's get this out of the way. But I know you guys are about to say a lot of stuff about pineapple and pizza. Pepperoni pizza is the absolute classic. I tend to like some other things on there, but anything but pepperoni. I love pepperoni. Sorry, not a pineapple. I love pineapple as a fruit on a pizza. It makes it not a pizza. What do you guys What are you showing
No,
me
so
over
my
there
wife,
making me-
it's called General Assembly Pizza. So my wife is involved with them right now, and they send you these crazy pizzas. And apparently, I was trying to find what the flavors were here, but we're actually having one tonight too. Yeah, it's I don't even know where to get pizza now. Build a box. It doesn't matter. They have sick flavors. Yeah, here you go. Hopefully, I think we're having something called. Oh yeah, we got this one, plush room. That looks pretty good. There's something called spicy. This is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the sweet heat. It has like chili and sopressata. I don't know what is on it, but this is what we're having tonight, and I think my kids are.
Oh my god, that's a winner.
I'm closing it so Neil doesn't see it. No, Neil. No.
That's a winner. What?
It is a very good winner.
No,
yeah.
that looks delicious.
Yeah, we almost celebrated ourselves.
Okay.
Like to keep these secrets, but I wouldn't show it on the show.
Heck of a lot of fun, and I'm dying for pizza. My mouth is literally watering. Yours should be, because the market is moving. Look, I know it's going to downside, but there are trades to be had. We've been pointing them out to you. We're going to jump right over to memes and movers with Trader Prad and Miss V. Let's go.
Peace.
Hey guys, welcome back. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I'm your host, Trader Prad. This is my beautiful host, the co-host.
Miss V, thank you, Brad. And hey guys, we're super glad you joined us today. Please start the stream with smashing the like button, subscribe to our channel, and be active on the chat. Ask us anything and write what you trade today and maybe you want us to look up at.